Part 30. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 291. The air suddenly fell silent and became deadly. Si slowly raised his head and looked at the assistant elf faintly, his eyes were quite calm. The assistant elf was shocked, and recalled the fright he received when he contacted the great god by phone, and his legs became weak again. 9 God. You said. Si paused and smiled. Who is the 9 gods? Ah, the assistant elf was stunned for a moment, looked at Yuzian, and stammered, 9 god, didn't you just have an appointment with Ju Shen here tonight? Si took a slow breath. Yes, she only made an appointment with the 9 gods. Then at this time, only the 9 gods will appear here. It's just that she had a dream just now. Although she woke up, she hadn't completely withdrawn from the dream. It was when her mind was not clear that she didn't think about it. 9 gods. Yuzian, the 9th son of the Yu family, ranked 9th. Si fist hardened little by little. The assistant elf looked blankly at Yuzian and then at Si, keenly aware that the atmosphere between the two was not right. He put down the cocktail and asked cautiously, what else do the 2 great gods order? Yuzian finally spoke, her voice was neither high nor low, but her words were forceful, go on. Aggrieved and weak, the assistant elf ran away, and closed the door thoughtfully. The layout of the room this time will definitely satisfy the 2 great gods. He had already foreseen how much he would raise his salary. The assistant elf didn't know that the atmosphere inside was completely different from what he thought, separated by a door. Very quiet, but the dark tide is surging. The silence was broken by Si. She stared at Yuzian, a very important person. He is calm in the face of danger, personal bodyguards are very important. Si looked at the clothes she chose for Yuzian. The navy blue suit and tie, the cufflinks are dark gold, and she even bought an extra watch. I looked at my outfit again. T-shirt and jeans with sneakers. The fist got harder. Si didn't restrain himself. With a bang, he smashed right next to him, and the gaming chairs were dented. Yuzian quickly admitted his mistake, it's my fault. Si gritted his teeth, what's wrong? Yuzian paused, I shouldn't have killed you at that time. It's just that he did not expect that the famous 9 in the oracle would be her. There are a lot of girls who play oracles, and there are also men who play male numbers. But on the full server rankings, there are very few girls on the list. In addition, she doesn't usually play games, so he didn't connect her with 9 at all. But as long as there is the word rebirth, anything can be explained. Si nodded and said indifferently, what else? I shouldn't have tricked you into taking me to buy clothes yesterday. Yuzian looked back at her with a smile, but I think she's pretty, and the girl has a unique eye, which I can't match. He admits it so quickly and so self-aware that he even blows her rainbow fart. Si felt that it was not easy for her to go on with her guilt. Her fox eyes narrowed slightly, you recognized my voice when you formed a team to play the copy? Who is Xing Chen? Yuzian, Shen Xingyuan. Si you don't let him speak. Because with her ear power, as long as Shen Xingyuan speaks, she can still hear it. Yuzian sighed, yes. Si slammed her fist down again, her hands were on both sides of Yuzian's shoulders, and her body approached, I'm angry. I know. Yuzian let her hold him down, I'm apologizing. Apologizing is useless. Si then complained, you're going too far, you're cheating on my feelings. Especially yesterday, she was so interested in helping him match his clothes. Hearing the last sentence, Yuzian raised her eyebrows, that's right. Si felt that she needed to get to know her beautiful boss again, how dare you say that, you sneak attack monster. You are such a person. Yuzian stopped defending and listened patiently to her accusation. Go home by yourself. Si fucking finished his complaint, fiercely. I live here today, don't let me see you. Uzion stood up straight. I will pick you up tomorrow morning. No need. Si fucking turned his back to him and emphasized again, I'm angry, go out. Find me on the phone if something happens, I'm always here. After Uzion poured 2 glasses of wine, she exited and closed the door. He lowered his eyes. Little girl temper. Pretty cute. At least not without progress. The assistant, the little elf, who came up to deliver the things again, looked at the man who was locked out of the door in horror. Nine gods, why did you come out? He spent the boss's efforts to arrange such a room with a suitable atmosphere. Uzion glanced at him lightly, adjusted his tie, and went downstairs without saying anything. The assistant, the elf, leaned against the wall and looked at the closed box door, but in the end he didn't have the guts to go in. These 2 great gods, let alone the vertical and horizontal things in the game, why are the real people in reality so powerful? He seemed to be watching a battle of the century. The heart is not very good, you have to slow down. Outside, Feng San was waiting beside the car. Seeing the man come out, he immediately opened the car door. But Uzion walked straight over. Feng San was stunned. Ninth brother, the car is here, why are you leaving? Don't you want to see someone? If it wasn't for him sending Uzion to the meeting, he really didn't know that his 9th brother was also playing oracles. Usually Uzion has always been meticulous, and his style of behavior is quite the old style of Daxia, but it is difficult to imagine that he can play games. I see. Uzion hummed, she told me to go back, I'll listen to her. He didn't have the slightest bit of anger, but could hear a secret joy. Feng San. With the hidden weapon in his hand out of the sheath, he already had the intention to kill. 9th brother, who is it? How dare you issue such an order? Uzion said without delay, you girls. Feng San. He couldn't react for a while, until Uzion had left his sight, and he recovered, but he was even more stupid. Si, Miss Si. So the person Juji wants to see today is Miss Si? No wonder, he said, who can make brother Ju obedient. Patients must listen to the doctor's words, or they will surely suffer. Feng San felt that his logic was very correct, and immediately drove after Uzion. Here, in the box. Si fucking leaned on the gaming chair, closed his eyes, and pressed the talisman on his chest with one hand. Soon she got up, left the box, and went to the lounge. Ji Xingzi wears 2 green eye circles, and is a spiritual boy. Si fucking paused, your image is quite good. Big brother, Ji Xingzi was mad, why didn't you tell me this product belongs to the Divine Doctor Alliance? Si fucking raised his eyebrows, I didn't tell him that you belong to the Ji family. Forget it. Ji Xingzi snorted coldly, Master, I don't have the same knowledge as him, I just didn't do my best. Si fucking sat down and said lightly, I found someone who plundered my luck. Ji Xingzi was startled, so fast. In fact, things like borrowing fate and borrowing luck are very common in the world of yin and yang. But plundering luck is different, the method is too cruel. After all traces have been erased, it is too difficult for the population of more than 1 billion people in the Daxia Empire to find the plunderers of luck. It is tantamount to looking for a needle in a haystack. Ji Xingzi was ready for a long battle. It's a coincidence. Si fucking leaned on the sofa, then it's not a coincidence that there were some coincidences at the beginning. Chi luck can be displayed through a person's face, palm, and the aura of the whole body. There is someone who resembles her in aura, and her surname is Ji, so there is no doubt that she has a lot of luck on her body. Ji's family. Ji Xingzi was stunned, you're dreaming again. Si fucking said slowly, Ji Qingwei. This time the dream was almost the same as the first time. She dreamed that Ji's family had a peerless genius, who showed unparalleled talent in various fields such as art and scientific research, and was competed for by major forces. It can be said to be omnipotent. Known as a rare genius in the world, countries have also reported. The network of people came, and the G family jumped to become the #1 family in Sijukan, and got a pass to the Liberty Island. All of this depends on G Kingwei. Si fucking heard these 3 words clearly in his dream. But she didn't see the woman she met today in her dream. But the talisman paper is hot, proving that the woman must also have her luck. Ji Xingzi touched his head. Who is this? I haven't heard of it, but the Ji family is in Sijukan, so just go directly. I'm going, but I can't scare the snakes. Si fucking's eyes were cold. I also want to know who transported my luck to the Ji family. This is something that the Fujiyama family has not done. Fujiyama-jing also just took her 10% luck and shipped it to the Zhou family. The Fujiyama family is conceited, but they have to admit that they are indeed the first yin-yang family. The Ji family should not be afraid. The real strength is the person standing behind the Ji family. Understood. Ji Xingzi's expression became solemn. This person has the highest strength. I am afraid that my ancestors in the heyday of Ji's family are not as good as them. The luck of the daughter of luck can be taken away, and there is no trace of it, which is really terrifying. Si Fu raised his eyebrows. With such strength, I am afraid that only her master can handle it. Neither does the big brother. I'll go check this Ji Kingwei first, Ji Xingzi said. When I find out, I can prescribe the right medicine and speed up the collection of qi. Using the talisman paper to pull the luck, it is still slower after all. Si fucking returned to his senses. It's troublesome. That's fine, I'll go first. Ji Xingzi was arrogant. Let's see you in Eternal when we arrive. Early the next morning, Yu Tang worried about her pocket money all night, and was going to beg for mercy when Si fucking came to her this morning. And most importantly, she still doesn't know what Ju Shen looks like. Tang Tang, are you going to the Oracle exhibition today? The roommate was washing his face, but we can only go to the outside exhibition, and the inside exhibition needs VIP tickets. There are restrictions on VIP tickets, which are only available to great players. Going to go. Yu Tang quickly packed her things. I'll take you to the exhibition, I have a ticket. Before the roommate could speak, the girl next to her sneered, why didn't you say you knew 9? Yu Tang glanced at her, I know him. The girl sneered louder, the poor sour guy still loves face. Yu Tang was too lazy to deal with it. Just as he and his roommates came downstairs, an exclamation suddenly sounded outside. Si fucking. Seata invited her here? No way. Although she is quite popular, I admit it, but it is not enough for Seata to invite her. Xia University holds lectures every month and invites some famous people from various fields, including but not limited to academicians of Daxia Research Institute, champions of international games, etc. There are also some stars, but they are all old actors. The only one with a huge fan base is Tong Luyun. Xia University is planning to invite Su Yang to the festival in March next year, and all the students are looking forward to it. Don't worry, come one by one. Si fucking carried 2 snakeskin bags. I brought quite a lot of autographed photos today. I'm queuing up, but there's no one who doesn't. Mooses. Why are you so skilled? But they really listened to Si fucking's words and stood in line on both sides of the road. Tang Tang, it's Si fucking, the roommate was excited. She has come to Seata. Why is there no news at all? How could she come? Damn, Tang Tang, she's walking towards us. The girl who had a conflict with Yu Tang in the dormitory also came down, looking very bored. I just came, why are you excited? Wan Wan, does Si fucking know you? Don't you have a lot of online fans? Another roommate bumped the girl's arm. You have an intersection with the entertainment circle, and she must be looking for her. Yours. Ding Wan Wan raised her chin, took away her impatient look, and smiled reservedly. It should be. Among these people, She is the only one who is famous. Anyway, she also has 2 million fans on the internet, which is not comparable to others. Come here, the roommate next to Ding Wanwan was excited. Wanwan, hurry up and ask us for a group photo. Ding Wanwan declined symbolically and stepped forward. It's the last 2 days of April, babies. Vote for Kinking's monthly vote. Hold on to the second and don't drop it. Except for the monthly ranking event of Q reading, which ends tomorrow, other peripheral activities will end on 5.7. Everyone actively participates. Wow. Asterisk. About the difference. Si fucking, angry. Brothers and sisters, run, run. Your Majesty, coax. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 292. The Shinayan society in the dubbing circle stands on half of the country, and the rest are the other major dubbing societies. Ding Wanwan was introduced to dubbing at the age of 16, and has dubbed many mobile games. Si fucking was blocked, and after a pause, he was quite polite. Hello, please let me go. Ding Wanwan turned away subconsciously, and before she said anything, Si fucking had already walked past her and stood still in front of Yu Tang. Tang Si fucking took out 5 VIP tickets for the Oracle exhibition from his pocket. These are the tickets for the exhibition. If you don't have enough, you can ask me for more. Enough. Yu Tang was very happy. Thank you, Ching Ching. I love you so much. Ching Ching is indeed much better than Uncle Ju, who only deducts her pocket money. Small thing. Si fucking patted her head. I'll go back to Bizhu to film in a few days. If you have anything, please contact me on your phone. The two chatted and laughed, no different from friends for many years. Ding Wanwan's smile froze at the corner of her mouth. It was as if a sledgehammer slammed into her head. Her ears were buzzing, and her brain was congested for a moment. In particular, the students who got their autographed photos have not left yet, and their eyes have been following Si fucking. These sights fell on her now, like thorns on her back, making Ding Wanwan feel that she was a grandstanding clown. Ding Wanwan is indeed famous among the freshmen of Xia University, and she has also met fans who have asked her to sign autographs. Several art societies competed to invite her to participate. Ding Wanwan was arrogant and arrogant. She had never seen such a scene before. She was actually compared by Yu Tang. Ching Ching, go get busy. Yu Tang reluctantly said, I'll take the bus with my roommate in a while, so I won't bother you anymore. Okay. Si fucking nodded, then I'll go first. Take care of yourself. Yu Tang still couldn't help complaining, Ching Ching, ninth uncle is a big bad guy. Hearing this sentence, Si fucking lost his expression. Don't mention him to me. Yu Tang. She sent Si fucking away in a daze, and after a few seconds, she suddenly felt happy. Although she didn't know how her ninth uncle provoked Ching Ching, she was happy when her ninth uncle was deflated. After Si fucking left, the students who were watching also dispersed. Ding Wanwan's expression was ugly and her face was ashen. The roommate who asked her to go up to Si fucking to take a group photo was also embarrassed. Tang knows big stars, I never heard you mention it. Si fucking's popularity is high, and there are a lot of big and small internet celebrities who are rubbing the heat on the internet. There is an internet celebrity meeting where they meet Si fucking and get an autographed photo. After all, Si fucking's magical transparent physique has become a great unsolved mystery in the entertainment industry. As long as she doesn't take the initiative to show her face after get off work, no shrewd entertainment reporter will be able to photograph her. Those internet celebrities couldn't wait to show off on Weibo even when they got a signed photo of Si fucking, but Yu Tang and Si fucking were obviously close friends, and she never mentioned it. Why do you mention it? Yu Tang was very strange. Am I familiar with you? The roommate was speechless, and his face turned red and white. She looked at the VIP ticket in Yu Tang's hand, and didn't dare to ask for it shamelessly. There were 4 people in the dormitory, and she had been hanging out with Ding Wanwan. I never thought that Yu Tang and Si fucking had such a good relationship. I knew she should not have echoed when Ding Wanwan mocked Yu Tang. Ding Wanwan stomped her feet and ran away angrily. Tang Tang, how did you meet King Bao? The roommate who was close to Yu Tang was still very excited. She must have supported you just now, she's so handsome. I've always thought Ding Wanwan was not pleasing to the eye. This stinky money is showing off there, and those who don't know think she is a rich lady. What's so arrogant? Well, I became a fan of Ching Ching when she was still being hacked by the whole internet. Yu Tang was serious. You don't know that I was an undercover black fan at that time, but I was heroic, and I was still on Weibo. Every day encourages Ching Ching, so we get to know each other. The roommate suddenly realized, it turns out that you are going to the cultivation department, Tang Tang. Yu Tang felt guilty, yes. Although she was undercover and kicked out within a few minutes. After taking 2 steps, Yu Tang felt that something was wrong. Could it be that her 9th uncle is also a nurturer? Soon someone broke the story online. The blogger is in Sia today is too funny. A certain internet celebrity dub stopped Si fucking to take a photo. He thought that Si fucking knew her, who knew that they were not looking for her at all, but their own little fans. I am so envious of this fan. Si fucking is so kind to her fans. The VIP tickets for the Oracle exhibition were handily given, and I was envious. Isn't Siada's internet celebrity dubbing the same Ding Wanwan? She always has her voice in her voice. She is very contrived and doesn't like it. One thing to say, one thing, Si fucking has nothing to say to fans. She wears t-shirts and pays for fans to buy room. Hey, speaking of the Oracle exhibition, the great gods did not come at the player meeting yesterday. Soon the topic was led to 9 God and 9 gods again. Here, Si fucking also arrived at the Oracle exhibition. She was taken to the VIP lounge by the staff, and after a while, Ji Xingzi also arrived. Brother, there is very little information about Ji Qinggui this time, he panted. She has never left Ji's house for more than 10 years. She is completely different from the one you dreamed of in your dreams. If you don't check carefully. Well, I thought I was looking for the wrong person. Dreams represent the future. Si fucking narrowed his fox eyes lightly. If I don't wake up, then the things I dreamed about are the reality that is happening. Ji Xingzi only felt horrified, and he took a deep breath. Brother, you said that her aura is very similar to yours, then it proves that she and your aura are also very well matched. After more than 10 years, it has to be integrated into the to what extent? Si fucking nodded slightly. I know, I have to take it back. I also checked, and the Ji family has no contact with anyone like Onmyoji. Ji Xingzi's eyes were solemn, but an expert gave them orders. The order said that the 2 sisters must never meet or be raised together until they are under the age of 18, otherwise they will not grow up smoothly, so the Ji family has been following this master's order all these years. Si Fu glared at him, this person who gave orders. There is no trace. Ji Xingzi shook his head, it disappeared, as if it never appeared, and I couldn't find it using the 5 elements tracking technique. Si fucking pondered. The situation of Ji's and Zou's is different. She clearly knew that the old man Zhou adopted her for her luck, but it was not known whether the Ji family was forced or took the initiative. Okay, Si fucking raised his head, go and test the Ji family to see if they know. Ji Xingzi was stunned. What kind of trial method? Pretend to be a magician or a master monk? Si fucking held his chin. Isn't this something you are very good at? Ji Xingzi choked. Brother, you call me like a liar. It's not the same, it was originally. Si fucking said lazily, it's up to you. I'll try. Ji Xingzi responded, I'll see if I can see Ji Qinggui this time. I'm curious how much she resembles you, eldest brother. Si fucking hummed, okay, I'll go to see the oracle's plan. The 2 separate. Ji Yun has been waiting for a long time. What do you think I should call you now? Ji Yun took a breath. Big Star, 009, or God 9. Whatever you want. Si fucking sat down in front of him, it's all me. No wonder you're not afraid of participating in the professional competition in the Star League. Ji-yoon pinched his temples, giving him a headache. As expected, you like to play dimensionality reduction strikes in everything you do. It can be said that Oracle can sit on billions of players, half because of the irreplaceable game system, and the other half because of the perverted 9. The worst thing is that it was all done by SI fucking. I don't. SI fucking shrugged, I really just want to make some money. Forget it, you didn't hit me once or twice. I'm hard-hearted now. Ji-yoon glanced at the time. Let's have a meal together? I'll go back after dinner. Okay, SI fucking said, I have to go back tomorrow to continue filming. By the way, I heard that you met with the 9 gods last night. Ji-yoon got up. I heard from my secretary that the 9 gods are not bad looking. How about not talking further? SI fucking was expressionless. She gritted her teeth. I'm going to defraud him of all his money. Let him become a pauper. Ji-yoon. Is something not right? The two went downstairs. Ji-yoon opened the car door, let Si-fu dump in, and he went to be the driver. Ji Longta, who was about to leave, had sharp eyes. Mr. Ji. He stepped forward quickly, about to catch up with Ji-yoon, but was stopped by the secretary. He could only watch Ji-yoon get to the driver's seat, and the car drove away. Ji Longta was very angry. Didn't you say that Mr. Ji is not here? I clearly saw him. Sorry. The secretary still stopped Ji Longta, ignoring his anger. Mr. Ji is very busy, so I won't see any guests for the time being. Nonsense. Ji Longta was furious. I saw someone else sitting in his car just now. The secretary said lightly, so this gentleman also knows that there is a difference between you and Mr. Ji's friend. This sentence was like a slap on Ji Longta's face, and his face flushed red. Obviously, going back to the ancestors, Ji-yoon and they are one family. After a few generations, Ji-yoon didn't even give them a chance to see them. Today Ji-yoon doesn't look down on their Ji family, and then his Ji family will make Ji-yoon unable to climb high. What? Ji Longta suppressed his anger and left angrily. On the way home, he specially bought a box of Osman Thus's dim sum for Ji Kingwei. As for Ji Kinjeo, he didn't take it to heart at all. The two daughters, it is Ji Kingwei who is more in his heart. The 7 school joint entrance examination is imminent, and Ji Kingwei has to make up for it. After lunch, SI fucking received a call from the director of the admissions department of Bizhu No. 1 Middle School. Student SI, it's like this. The first 7 school joint entrance examination this year has begun. The director of the admissions department said, you see if you have time to take part. To participate in the international entrance examination, the preliminary selection of the international entrance examination is based on the results of the 5-7 school joint entrance examinations. I will participate. SI fucking asked, when? Just the day after tomorrow. Director of the admissions department, if you participate, I will add your name. You can come directly to the school. No problem. SI fucking said, I will be there on time. When the call ended, she was going to the bus stop when a car stopped in front of her. The back door opened. Shen Xingyun jumped down and greeted her. Miss SI, we met again. My second sister-in-law was thinking of you yesterday. SI fucking glanced at him lightly. Shen Xingyun got goosebumps at the sight of her, and shivered all over. Miss SI. What has he done? A slender hand stretched out at this moment. The man's palm was a piece of strawberry candy. He looked at her quietly and sighed, are you still angry? SI fucking looked at Yu Zion's face and really couldn't get angry. But reason told her that her anger was not so easy to dissipate. I'm angry. Feng San didn't even dare to say a word. In the passenger seat, Yu Tang was very bold. Ninth uncle, you made Ching Ching angry, why didn't you coax him properly? You must have failed to protect Ching Ching last night. Last night, Shen Xingyun was taken aback. What happened last night? Someone asked Ching Ching to meet in the small box last night, and I said to let Uncle Ninth watch over it. Yu Tang said confidently, it must be because he didn't do his job as a bodyguard well, and Ching Ching got angry. The more Shen Xingyun listened, the more strange it became. Humph, the game is good and no one is seen, so he must be an otaku who has social fears. Yu Tang angrily said, Ninth uncle, I sent you a message last night and you didn't reply to me. It's a loss for me to tip you off. Because Yu Zion raised her head, her voice indifferent, I'm the otaku who has social fears. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 293. It's pretty quiet inside the car. As if struck by lightning, Yu Tang couldn't move. She stared blankly at the handsome man sitting in the back from the car mirror, unable to recover for a long time. Shen Xingyun didn't take a breath and was choked. Shi Yan, why do you say that about yourself? Where did you get involved with these two words? Yu Zion leaned back on the car seat, resting her head in one hand. I didn't expect that I was such a person in the eyes of my niece. Shen Xingyun was stunned, recalling what Yu Tang said just now, but Tang Tang isn't talking about. He suddenly shuddered and stopped talking. Yu Tang looked at Yu Zion, and then at Sci-fi, her always clever little head couldn't turn around. She listened to Ching Ching and kept telling her that the 9 gods were sneak attack monsters, which was too much. As a good sister, of course she has to share the enemy. But why is her 9th uncle the sneak attack monster? Yu Tang finally felt a sense of social death. Looking back on all the things that happened these days, she also knew how her pocket money disappeared. Okay, 9th uncle, Yu Tang immediately sued the villain first. So you are the sneak attack monster that Ching Ching said. How could you sneak attack her? She was angry at the time. She said, yes. Yu Zion held her head. You said, it seems that I don't want any pocket money for next month. Yu Tang. Without pocket money for 2 months, she really wants to drink the northwest wind. She immediately got out of the car and hugged Sci-fi's waist. Woo 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 Ching Ching. The 9th uncle bullied me. Sci-fi looked over murderously. Yu Zion was silent for a moment. I was wrong. He said in a neither light nor heavy tone, you have found a good backer. Yu Tang proudly akimbo. Shen Xingyun finally reacted. He opened his mouth wide. Miss Si is the god of 9. No wonder Shi Yan told him to shut up after 9 revealed his original voice. He didn't expect that Shi Yan even attacked Miss Si. Shen Xingyun was happy. You have today too. It has always been others who were suppressed by Yu Zion, and it was rare to see him being suppressed willingly. For such a rare thing in the world, he must go back and promote it with his second brother. Yu Zion glanced at him lightly, her eyes indifferent between joy and anger. This look made Shen Xingyun very stressed. He coughed a few times and raised his hands in a gesture of surrender. I didn't say anything, I didn't say anything. Forget it, there are so many people here, so I won't bother with you for now. Sci-fi took the sugar and glanced at Yu Zion. I'm going to the airport. Yeah. Yu Zion laughed softly, holding her wrist and pulling her up. You are very popular now, you are very famous, there are too many people at the airport, it is better to take a private jet. It is just before the end of the month. Now, settle the salary. Yu Tang. Her 9th uncle precisely pinpointed the lifeline of Ching Ching. She really had to obey. Sci-fi was expressionless. There is also money for suits and watches. Well, he smiled again. Forget it. Sci-fi was still very angry when he remembered what happened yesterday, and accused again, deceiving my feelings. Oh, Yu Zion nodded slightly, but I never lied. You are also an important person. How can I wear the clothes you bought to see others? Sci-fi squinted at him with a pair of fox eyes. It seems that something is wrong with you. Uzion closed her eyes. Where? Si fucking tilted his head. Anyway, I said yes. Uzion opened her eyes to look at her again, her brows moved. Yes, girl. Shenzing Yun. There's something wrong with both of you. How can it be the same as flirting with a couple? He is a single dog who can't understand very well. The next day. The cast of The Devil. After Si fucking finished filming, he went to Tang Haikiu to ask for leave. 7 school joint test, Tang Haikiu's hand shook, and he was really shocked. You actually want to take the 7 school joint test? This is the most complicated exam in the Great Xia Empire. The difficulty is dozens of times that of the college entrance examination. The original purpose of the 7 school joint entrance examination was to screen candidates for the international joint entrance examination. Because very few people in the Great Xia Empire can enter the top 50 of the international entrance examination, and the number of places allocated to the Great Xia Empire in the international entrance examination is getting smaller and smaller, which makes the major universities very anxious. Those who can participate in the 7 school joint entrance examination are the top ones from each school. The school also does not send ordinary students to be tortured. Si fucking said that he was going to participate, and obviously there was a place in hand. Such a talented scholar, he was actually brought into film, and he felt heartache for the scientific research community. No wonder a professor from Xia University came to you some time ago. Tang Haikiu has an inexplicable sense of accomplishment. Okay, you go to participate. Tang Haikiu made a decisive decision. This is a good thing. If you can get a place in the international entrance examination next year, I will definitely celebrate it for you. Then Director Tang, don't blame me for slaughtering you. Si fucking raised his eyebrows. Do you have to use a loudspeaker to shout at the door when I take the test first? If you can get the first place in the exam, I can do anything. Tang Haikiu was very pleased, but let's not think about the first place. As long as we can get into the top 50, we will do what we can. Si fucking responded, I will do what I can. Sang Yanking heard again. Her artistes do what they can, don't they? Try not to scare others. Tang Haikiu saw the helmet on Si fucking's hand again and pointed, what is this? Are you going to drive a racing car? No, just a small toy. Si fucking lazily said, wearing this will make you sleep better. Tang Haikiu nodded, how much is it? I'll buy one too. The things you use must be excellent. This. Si fucking paused, euphemistically, how about I make one for you? This is a defective product that will affect your brain waves. Tang Haikiu. After a few seconds, he slowly said, I shouldn't have asked. Why is he having trouble with his heart? Gotta take medicine again. Tang Haikiu covered his heart and slowly went to the director's team. The Human World chapter has been filmed, and only Suiyin is left to return to the immortal world and kill the quartet, and this drama will officially end. Tang Haikiu had a hunch that the Daxia Empire was about to set off a new wave of immortals. He also wants to let the audience know that with him and Si fucking, Xiangxia will never die. Tang Haikiu called director Qin, old Qin, how are you rectifying the matter of going to the stars? I'm in a hurry here. Hey, fucking was recommended to me, you have to work hard. Here, Si fucking also returned to the lounge. She put on the game helmet, ready to go online first. However, because the game helmet is not fully functional, the game screen is only a CG image, which cannot bring players into a completely real game world like a game cabin. It seems that in a short period of time, she can't go to the Ghost Valley to dig the medicine that the old man planted. Just after putting on the helmet, Si fucking felt a slight pain in his brain. The holographic game is linked to human nerves. If she has not logged in the game for a long time, it is inevitable that some temporary adverse reactions will occur. The labor pain dissipated, Si fucking opened his eyes, and the system prompt sounded. She also came to her login space. Welcome, SS09. It has been detected that you have not logged into the game for a long time. In order to facilitate your next game journey, the system has prepared a return gift package for you. The return gift is being drawn. Sci-fi's eyes narrowed slightly. Is there really a return package? How can this kind of killing game be so kind to players? The big screen of the login space is beating constantly. She did not report any hope for the gift bag. But she must wait for the return gift to be drawn before she can enter the game world. After a minute, the screen stopped beating. Congratulations! You are about to start a big summer journey. Timeline is being toggled. 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the prosperous world of summer. You will talk to the ancients across time and space. Click the screen to interact. I wish you a happy game. Seeing these lines of system prompt subtitles, Sci-fi's expression suddenly changed. This is. The scene on the big screen has finally changed, and it is no longer the imitation city in Eternal. It is the real capital of the great Xia dynasty. Yang'an City. 1,000 years ago, this was the most prosperous city in the world. None of them. In the great summer, the quartet comes to congratulate, and the 8 countries pay homage. At the same time, in the upper right corner of the big screen, a time calendar table appeared. Sci-fi's eyes were certain. 666 years of the summer calendar. After watching The Legend of Emperor Yin many times, Sci-fi clearly understood what this point in time meant. The year that Emperor Yin was taken back to the palace. This year, he was only 9 years old. He was thrown out of the palace since he was a child. Fortunately, the host of the temple picked it up and he did not die. However, the old emperor was ignorant, and searched for money everywhere. The incense in the temple was not strong, and even the monks could not eat enough. The host had to take him around for alms with difficulty. After finally raising him to the age of 6, his mother-in-law became an imperial concubine, but he was still prohibited from returning to the palace. After another 3 years of wandering, the old emperor seemed to remember that he still had a prince, and this allowed the eunuch around him to bring him into the palace. But even if he was connected to the palace, the old emperor did not want to take care of him, and only threw him to the side hall, life and death. The other princes all grew up in the palace, wearing fine clothes and food, and being carefree. This is the strength of the Emperor Yin. He ran away for 9 years and forbearance for 14 years. He has never been taught any imperial skills, and it is not like the prince has countless teachers to preach. 16 sons seized the heir, and no one would have thought that he would actually be able to achieve the throne. No one dared to take pictures of his legendary life. There are many film and television dramas in the Great Xia dynasty, but the directors all avoided the growth history of Emperor Yin. Where is it that you don't want to take pictures? You can't take pictures at all. No one could successfully play the ambitious emperor. The situation on the screen is changing, like a movie screen, and the lens is gradually getting closer. From the huge forbidden city to a small cold palace-side hall, there are noises around. Everything becomes real. Sci-fi also confirmed that she had indeed followed the game to Daxia 1,500 years ago. It was something she had wanted to do many times. She took 2 steps forward and was about to take a closer look when the mechanical sound of the system sounded in her ears. Warn. It is forbidden to change history. If the major historical node changes, the player will be deprived of the right to life. Sci-fi narrowed his eyes. Deprivation of the right to life is finally a game she is familiar with. A holographic game even has the function of linking the past and the future. It is true that there are also people in the evolutionary whose abilities are related to time, but at most, they can stop time for a second or two, and they have already tried their best. The flow of time is irreversible, and no matter what, the past will not change. Who developed the holographic game Eternal? At this time, Sci-fi finally saw the face of the young Emperor Yin Huang. At the age of 9, he had not yet grown, and his clothes were very shabby, and because he used to wander outside, he was malnourished and slightly thin. But his back was straight, without any twists and turns. The facial features are also very handsome. Sci stretched out his hand and poked the boy's face. The young man's brows furrowed, but they quickly relaxed again, still indifferent. Sci was satisfied. Good, can't see her. The dog game system is still very powerful. There were 2 eunuchs talking beside him. I haven't even given a name. It shows that he is dispensable to His Majesty. You and I don't need to be too busy. They are all people in the palace, relying on the emperor to live. Of course, it depends on the emperor's wink. Even the emperor and the imperial concubine have abandoned the 9th prince, so why should they care? The 2 eunuchs left, completely disregarding the injuries on the boy's body, and the blood was still flowing out. These injuries were all hit by other princes. Of course, these princes did not get any advantage, and they all went to complain. The young man walked back to the dilapidated palace very slowly. His injuries were not minor. After laying down on the ground with difficulty, he closed his eyes. Wouldn't it hurt more to sleep like this? Sci hesitated for a moment, then tried to reach out and click on the quilt on the side of the screen. The quilt was really dragged by her. So she put the quilt on the boy on the bed. The boy suddenly opened his eyes, and his eyes looked calmly in her direction. It's the last day I'll ask for another monthly pass. It's still a double monthly pass, and the vote will not expire. 2-way cultivation? Really exciting. Experience the feeling of becoming an emperor. I finally wrote about the biggest turning point of the emotional drama, OVO. Later, when I was pressed onto the bed, I ching, am I not playing the game of emperor cultivation? After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 294. His eyes were pitch black, bottomless, without any warmth, only a cold color that could not be melted away. Obviously Sci confirmed that he couldn't see her, but his glance clearly made her feel that he seemed to be able to see everything. She raised her hand and shook it in front of the boy, then reached out to stroke his hair. The boy's eyelashes trembled slightly, and the breath in his body suddenly became sharp. He got up quickly, completely ignoring the wounds on his body, and was about to leave the palace. Sci pushed him back directly, and forcibly covered him with the quilt. After searching in the palace for a long time, he found a box of silver needles. After the disinfection, he started to mend his wounds. An emotion called shock finally appeared on the young man's calm face, which turned into cold anger after a few seconds, and he struggled vigorously. But he couldn't break free. He watched helplessly as a silver needle continued to sew up his wound. All this is beyond his imagination. For a moment, even the thoughts of the young emperor froze. Soon, Sci stitched up his wound with ease, and then let go of the hand that restrained him. The system did not issue a warning. After all, Emperor Yin died when he was 27 years old. Now that he is 9 years old, nothing will happen to him anyway. Even if she doesn't sew his wounds, he can recover slowly. But she felt distressed. She couldn't do anything else, and she could only ease his pain in this way. It is impossible for history books to record all such trivial matters. He suffered far more than recorded. The boy's expression returned to indifference, and he rearranged his clothes. Sci raised his eyebrows, appreciating his handsome facial features. Fortunately, he can't see her, and she can play as she pleases. Just as Sci was about to pull his hair, the palace door was kicked open suddenly. A big eunuch came in with a haughty look on his face, and his words were full of sarcasm and contempt. "Ninth Prince, His Highness the Second Highness is looking for you, do you still have time to rest here?" The boy raised his eyes and said in a low voice, "Get lost." The chief eunuch was startled by his sound, and his face instantly became ugly. He took 2 steps forward and was about to grab the young man's arm. I think you're out of your mind, don't you really think you are the prince? Do you have the life of the prince? The imperial concubine doesn't even want to see you, what are you being arrogant about? The young man was so calm that he looked at the eunuch with dark eyes. Si fucking couldn't listen any longer, her eyes turned cold, she raised her leg, and kicked the old eunuch's heart. The old eunuch screamed and was immediately kicked out of the palace. The boy's eyes narrowed slightly. He stood with his hands behind his back, slowly turned his head, and looked at Si fucking's position again. The old eunuch panicked and screamed hysterically, "Ghost, ghost." Soon the cold palace and side hall returned to silence. At this time, Si fucking heard him speak, his voice was cold, like pearls, "Are you a ghost?" Si fucking squinted his eyes, and asked the game system, the others didn't feel it, so why did he feel my presence in the first place? Can he still capture my position? Hint, Yin Huang is not an ordinary person. Si fucking was stunned. Ziwuxing, who descended from the sky, is a master of luck, but he can't be compared to ordinary people. She can roughly guess that the game system connects the past and the future, but it cannot travel through it completely. To the young Yin Huang, she was indeed a ghost. Si fucking was thoughtful, can he hear me? Hint, the level is not enough, and the sound cannot be transmitted temporarily. Si fucking. Are you really going to let her play games? This kind of interaction seems to be no different from the small nurturing games played by Yutang. The difference is that in front of her is a real person. Still the object of her admiration. Be cautious. Can't leave a bad impression. She must have scared him just now. Si fucking walked around the dilapidated palace, found a stone, and wrote a word on the ground. Yes. The young man's eyes were calm, and he continued to ask, this place has always been a cold palace, are you the former concubine who died in vain? Si fucking wrote no. The young man's expression was a little relaxed, and he didn't ask any more questions, but just whispered, thank you. It's ridiculous to think about it. His bloodline never cared about him, only wanted him to die. The person who really cared about him turned out to be a ghost who knew how to treat him. No wonder people say that ghosts are not scary, what is scary is the human heart. Then follow me, the young man coughed lightly, without any emotion, I will find someone to save you in the future. Si fucking could see it clearly, even though he said that, his eyes still didn't soften at all. He doesn't believe her. 2. As an emperor, how could he trust others so much? At the age of 9, he has a maturity that does not match his age. He is obviously dressed in commoner clothes, but he is majestic and cannot be looked at. Si fucking suddenly remembered a description. This young man was born with a face that would turn the world upside down. What are the princes and 10 countries? When he wants to fight, he fights everywhere. Presumably, the young emperor who will rule the world 10 years later and fight all the way to the western continent can already see the first clues at this moment. He was born to be king. He used his strength to tell everyone that he was firmly seated on the throne. This world, he also wants to decide. Wherever the sun and the moon shine, and where the rivers and rivers go, they are all summer soil. Is the golden scale a thing in the pool? It will turn into a dragon when it encounters a storm. This man, known as the Great Xia Dragon Sparrow, is standing in front of her right now. The young man turned around and returned to the palace. I'm resting, you can float by yourself for a while. Si fucking. What makes her float for a while? She thought she couldn't disobey the idol's wishes, so she really went around outside the palace. Outside are eunuchs and court ladies who have bullied teenagers. After tidying up the eunuchs and maids, Si fucking clapped his hands and returned to the dilapidated palace. The boy has fallen asleep. But even when he was sleeping, he was still in a defensive posture, very vigilant. Si fucking stretched out his hand and poked his face again. She looked so good looking when she was a child, but how bad is it when she grows up? No matter what, she has to be on the same level of appearance as her boss. No wonder you have to wear a mask on the battlefield. Si fucking continued poking. A second later, there was a faint voice, "My face, is it easy to touch?" Si fucking withdrew his hand and quickly wrote 3 words on the ground. "Feel good." The young man glanced at it, and quickly turned around, with his back to her. Si-fu tilted her chin and was about to go outside to find some quilts. She just got up when the game system sounded suddenly. "This week's game time is over, please come back next time." In the next second, she was ejected by the game system and returned to the login space. She stared at the blank screen and fell silent. There is a 7-day countdown in the upper right corner of the screen. Only let her play for an hour a week? What rubbish game planning. Si fucking directly quit the game and took off the game helmet. She opened her eyes. The eyes are blue sky, and row upon row of high-rise buildings. There were crew members in 2s and 3s outside, and the laughter came, which was still the reality she was familiar with. As if it was just a dream. Si fucking pushed open the door of the lounge, breathing slowly. "Sister Sang, pinch me a few times." "What's the matter?" Sang Yanking was suspicious. "Why do you ask me to pinch you?" "Quick, don't ask so many questions." Si fucking stretched out his arms. "Let me see if I'm dreaming." Sang Yanking had no choice but to pinch her as she wanted. But this pinch made his hand hurt even more. Sang Yanking took a deep breath. "You jumped out of the rock, right? Even if you keep exercising all the year round, your body can't be like an iron wall, right?" I'm sorry." Si-fu put his hands together. "I'm in a self-defense state, please forgive me." It's not a dream, she really saw Emperor Yin. Although it was only an hour, she had already poked Yin Wang's face. This comeback gift package seems to be tailor-made for her. So she has to be more vigilant. The game can enhance the strength of the player, but it can also make the player fall into a situation of life and death. "Are you in a good mood?" Sang Yanking was surprised. "Why, something good happened, let me tell you about it." Si fucking blinked. "I have met someone I like, he is so cute." Sang Yanking was even more surprised. "Cute? How old is the person you like? How do you describe it?" "He is 9 years old now." Si Feuding calculated. "I don't know how old he will be next time I see him, and how long I will have to raise him. I really want to see him rule the world directly." Ching Ching. Sang Yanking put his hands on her shoulders, took a deep breath, and said earnestly, "Let's not do illegal things, okay? It starts in 3 years, and the maximum penalty is death. You should think about it carefully. There are quite a few people in the circle who want to chase you. In the past 2 days, other teams have been contacting me to say that they want to cooperate with you. If you really want to fall in love, I will not stop you, but 9 years old is too young. In elementary school, no matter how cute you are, you should restrain yourself." Si fucking. She slowly, "I am such a beast." "It's fine if it's not." Sang Yanking was a little disbelieving. "You will take the exam for the 7th school the day after tomorrow, and there will definitely be some keyboard warriors on the internet. I have to do public relations for you again. Don't break the law at a critical moment." Si fucking lazily said, I know, Sister Sang, how can I break the law if I'm so obedient?" Sang Yanking confirmed that Si fucking really didn't intend to attack the 9-year-old pupil, and then left with confidence to assign tasks to the studio staff. The cell phone rang at this moment. Si fucking took a look. Remarks, "Black-hearted monster, ignore it for 3 days." She hung up the phone. "Here," Yu Zian looked at the phone screen and raised her eyebrows slightly. "You really pissed me off this time." Shen Xingyun clicked his tongue. "Haven't you coaxed him well yet?" Yu Zian supported her head. I am willing, it doesn't hurt to coax more. Shen Xingyuan sighed, I've never seen you like this. It's rare that you are tempted. You were frightened that day, right? With your character, there are not many things that can frighten you. Yes, Yu Zian said lightly, when I was a child, I met a ghost, and I was frightened at that time. Shen Xingyuan was taken aback for a moment. Ghost? Doesn't someone from your family come to do things every month? MRSU's health is not very good, and she has many nightmares when she sleeps. Mr. Yu invited eminent monks from the temple to come to Yu's house to consecrate and preach. Of course, if you can invite an onmyoji, that would be the best. It's a pity that the real onmyoji can't be found at all. Yu Zian didn't explain much, but just smiled lightly. He's a good ghost, and he can cook for me, but it's terrible. Did you read too many stories about the snail girl? Shen Xingyuan just felt strange. Forget about ghosts, and I will cook for you. When you were young, the Yu family didn't even give you food, did they? Yu Zian didn't say anything more. He quietly looked out the window. Then I'll go first. Shen Xingyuan stood up. I wish you a good job coaxing Miss Si as soon as possible. He must work hard to find a partner, and he can't hold back the brothers. The next day, Si fucking went to Bizhu number 1 middle school to get her examination admission ticket. The director of the admissions department was very concerned. Student Si, just do your best in the exam, don't put too much pressure on the top 5. In the first half of this year, there was a rare high-score paper of 670 points in the 7-school joint examination. A score of 670 in the 7-school entrance examination is much more difficult than a full score in the college entrance examination. You must know that the second is only 608 points, the gap between them is too big. I heard that Miss G will take the international entrance examination next year, and the top 50 is guaranteed. In the first half of the year, Ji Qinggui was just practicing with the exam papers of the 7 schools. This year, she will participate and compete with other students on the same stage. If other people fight, it's just a fight for second place. The papers of the joint entrance examination of the 7 schools are relatively difficult, and it is very common for students in our school to take single-digit exams. The director of the admissions department reassured, if you see 2 difficult questions in the examination room, don't worry. Especially the math test, every time someone will faint. Ambulances are waiting outside. Si fucking nodded, I know. I don't dare to think about number 1. The director of the admissions department said again, let's fight for number 2, there is still hope. This first one belongs to Ji Qinggui, there is no doubt about it. The highest score still depends on how much Ji Qinggui can take the test. It feels like a time-closed loop, so I'll try to write it clearly. Let's make a bet and see who will take off the other's vest first this time, His Majesty or Ching Ching. The Q-month fan list ends at 0 o'clock today. Don't forget the time for those who still want to participate. It's the last few hours, and the monthly pass is for Ching Ching. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 295. This morning, there was news from the high school affiliated to Xia University that Ji Qinggui might hit 700 points. If the 7-school joint exam can reach 700 points, then next year's international joint exam will definitely be in the top 50. A student who can enter the top 50, no matter which school he is in, will vigorously cultivate him. Bizhu number 1 middle school is partial to literature, and it has been a long time since there has been such a perverted genius in science. The director of admissions was a little sad. Fortunately, he and the headmaster personally took the test papers to Siju City and successfully recruited Si fucking to Bizhu number 1 middle school. Even if he can't compare with Ji Qinggui, a genius, Bizhu number 1 middle school has a second place. Si fucking put away the admission ticket and looked up. Why don't you dare to think about number 1? You don't know. In the first half of the year, A genius appeared in 49 City. The director of the admissions department lowered his voice. He broke the score record of the 7-school joint exam. She scored 680 in 10 years. Sci-fucking was thoughtful, 680. Don't underestimate this 680. The 680 in the joint entrance examination of 7 schools is more difficult than the 750 in the college entrance examination. The director of the admissions department shook his head. This is a real genius. Sci-fucking nodded. I don't know what kind of genius you are talking about, director. Second miss of the G family, G Kingwei. The director of the admissions department sighed. Oh, this person is born a winner in life. His family background, his own ability, are far beyond those of his peers. We ordinary people should not compare. He originally thought that Sci-fucking would accept his fate if he said those words. But she didn't expect that. Instead, she laughed lightly and said, then I'll think more about the number 1. The director of admissions was stunned. Student SI. Depending on my own ability, of course I'm a genius. Sci-fucking nodded. I really want to see if this genius is as powerful as you said, director. The director of the admissions department didn't expect that he would arouse Sci-fucking's fighting spirit instead, so of course he would not hit her. Okay. Let's work hard for tomorrow's Chinese and math exams. Even so, he didn't have much hope in his heart. Because of physical problems, Ji Qingwei only got a student status in the high school affiliated to Xia University. In the last session, Bizhu No. 1 Middle School was overwhelmed by the high school affiliated to Xia University. This year, the high school affiliated to Xia University has another Ji Qingwei. The enrollment rate of Bizhu No. 1 Middle School next year is probably not going to be very good. The director of the admissions department sighed again, and sent Sci-fucking out. Here, 49 City. Ji Xingzi changed into the clothes he used to bluff and swindle, and glued his beard on. He pushed a bicycle full of various knives and came to Ji's house. The geographical location of Ji's family is very remote, and it is not in the same place as other big and small families. Ji Xingzi cleared his throat and was about to shout a few words when someone stopped in front of him. Ji Qinjiao saw the knife hanging on his bicycle, and paused. Are you a knife on credit? She grew up in the Qinjun League, so her vision is naturally not comparable to that of other ordinary rich men and ladies in Siju City. Credit knife people can also be regarded as people in the world of yin and yang and 5 elements. They sell knives for free, and leave a mysterious prophecy. When the prophecy is fulfilled, they will appear again and ask for the knife selling fee of the year. In the last century, the profession of knife on credit was very popular, and many farmers would ask for a knife in exchange for the prediction of crop harvest. But after entering the modern society with rapid technological development, there are almost no people who credit the knife. Only the swindlers are left. Ji Qinjiao took a knife. I'll buy you a knife, you can talk. Your fate is not good, it is a sign of early death. Ji Xingzi looked her up and down, and said slowly, everyone has luck, big or small, but the luck in your body is not yours. Yes, although not many, but it conceals your own luck. But it's not your own luck that helped you a lot. You practice martial arts, right? Do you sometimes make moves that you don't know? The power also bursts out suddenly. But you don't know afterwards that this power came from. Where did it erupt? Ji Qinjiao fell silent and clenched the knife in his hand. The blade was inserted into her palm, and blood flowed down drop by drop. Ji Xingzi was taken aback. Even if you can't accept it, don't hurt yourself. I don't know how to treat diseases. Small injury. Ji Qinjiao was indifferent, and then slowly raised his head. Then is there a way for me to return this luck? Ji Xingzi was stunned for a moment, and his eyes sharpened. You want to return it? You should think clearly. This borrowed luck also nourishes your body. Once you return it, your physical strength will be useless, and you may even suffer serious backlash and paralysis. You also said you borrowed it. Ji Qinjiao was quite calm. How can you feel at ease using something that isn't yours? Ji Xingzi did not expect this answer. He was also silent for a while, then pushed the car away. Ji Qinjiao really didn't doubt Ji Xingzi's words. She has practiced martial arts since she was a child. Although she has learned the traditional martial arts secrets of the great Xia dynasty, she sometimes feels that something is not normal. For example, in this year's Qinjunmen assessment, she was fighting against a 7th level fighter. This 7th level fighter is powerful in force, and she was not an opponent in the first place. But at the critical juncture, she suddenly used a new move and knocked her opponent down. She also successfully rose to level 7. Afterwards, she watched the battle video, but found that she had never learned these moves. It turns out that there is really such a thing as borrowing luck. Who lent her luck? Whose luck did she borrow? Ji Qinjiao frowned, planning to go to Guanghua Temple. In the Holy Land of Buddhism, she might be able to find the answer. On the other side, Ji Xingzi had already removed his disguise. Brother, it's amazing, Ji Xingzi confirmed that there was no one around, and called Sci-fucking, I followed your instructions, went to Ji's house to pretend to be a magic stick, and met Miss Ji's family. She not only believed what I said, but also asked me how to return the luck to you. I guess she didn't know, but the rest of the Ji family didn't know. Sci-fucking narrowed his eyes, it can't be ruled out that it's a trap. I think so too, but she's very sincere. Ji Xingzi scratched his hair, I can't see that Ji Qingwei, Ji's family should have invited an eminent monk from Guanghua Temple to set up a door god outside her house, mine Shikigami can't get in. Well, I know Sci-fucking said calmly, we will meet sooner or later. If she wants to take the initiative to return my luck, what can I do? Because it's been too long, even if she wants to, it's not up to her to decide, and it's definitely not easy. Ji Xingzi frowned, I'll ask my old man, and I'll call you back if I have any news. The next day, the first 7 school joint exam for this school year officially started. Sci-fucking stayed at home the night before. Ye Zhenmian knew that the two of them were going to take an exam, so she specially prepared a nutritious meal. Ching ching, Yin, I will make up for you these 2 days. Ye Zhenmian came over with breakfast, don't put too much pressure on you, take as many exams as you can. Thank you, Auntie. Sci-fucking's foxy eyes curled up, I want to eat sweet and sour balls for lunch. Okay. Ye Zhenmian smiled, Auntie will make you whatever you want. Nian Yin sighed, Sister Ching Ching, it's okay in the morning, and I can make up things if I don't know Chinese anymore. I guess I will be one of the members of the ambulance when I take the math test in the afternoon. Relax. Sci-fucking patted him on the shoulder, if you stay in the examination room until I finish writing and then faint, I can come out to save you, let's save some money. Nian Yin. It doesn't have to be. The siblings had dinner and walked to school. This time, Bizhu number 1 middle school participated in the 7 school joint exam, and the top 500 students in their grades. Sci-fucking's examination room was the last one, and she was still fully armed, including a scarf. But before the test, you must check the photos to prevent someone from taking the test by mistake. Some students saw her face, and immediately stayed in their seats, stupefied. The bell rang and the exam officially started. Several students came back to their senses and began to answer questions. Sci-fucking's Chinese is nothing compared to her science. However, in the past few months, she has been filling up on history, and she also asked Gu Huiyan to borrow a lot of Chinese studies books, and now she is more pleasing to the eyes when reading Chinese topics. She successfully answered the previous questions and turned to the final composition. Looking at the composition topic, Sci-fucking suddenly recalled that when she was in Eternal Academy, Yu Huixiu didn't like all theoretical exams, and she had to write an extra paper every time. Compared with the 800-word composition and the 5,000-word thesis, she wrote the former with ease. After finishing the composition in half an hour, Sci-fucking was in a daze for a while, and handed in the paper more than an hour earlier and left the examination room. The students around were dumbfounded again. Outside the examination room, Sci-fi walked out of the school slowly and went to Yejenmian's restaurant. She has already started to look forward to next week, and wonders if the young Yinhuang will still remember her as a ghost when she returns to the Great Xia dynasty through the game next time. At 12 o'clock, Nian Yan came back with a look of lovelessness on his face. I knew that Wen Changji's poems would definitely be published by the group that produced the topic, but fortunately only 1,000 poems have been handed down. If all the poems he wrote were kept, if it comes down, the students will definitely go crazy. He drank a large bucket of water before he recovered his strength. Sister Ching Ching, is today's composition difficult? I may have strayed off topic. It's okay. Sci-fi raised his head, it's so-so. Nian Yan didn't know how to answer the conversation. This is so-so. In the afternoon math test, Nian Yan was so anxious that he didn't even take a nap at noon. Sci-fi felt refreshed and ran a few laps on the playground. Mathematics is much more intimate to her than Chinese. The questions of the 7 schools joint examination are indeed much more difficult than the normal mock exam papers, but even if the final questions are placed in the Eternal Academy, they are only practice questions. Leaving the examination room early again, several students who recognized her were a little desperate. After the math test, some students posted on Weibo. I met Sci-fi in the 7th school's entrance examination. It's really Sci-fi, I can assure you, I'm in the same exam room as her, and she handed in the exam ahead of time. For the math test, she also handed in the paper an hour earlier. Absolutely. What? She was able to enter Bizhu number 1 middle school, which has opened my eyes. She is still eligible to take the 7 school joint exam. You can also take the test if you pay. An hour in advance, she can't do it, she didn't pass out, so she has a strong mental capacity. I also handed in the papers ahead of time. The mathematics in the 7 school joint exam was not done by humans, it was too difficult. A few students in my exam room foamed at the mouth and passed out. I begged tomorrow's generalist to show mercy. Are you all big guys who took the entrance exam for the 7 schools? Shueja trembled. After the exam, the test papers have been sent to the professors of Xia University. The test paper is difficult, and it is also difficult for the teacher to correct it. Especially the language group, so far no points have been awarded. But the mathematics group changed the paper much faster than the language group. It's not because there are few questions, but because most people leave the big questions behind, or only write a few formulas. The teachers in the mathematics group glanced at it, gave a formula a score, and started to change the next one. Very happy. The math paper this time is quite difficult. It would be good if you can solve one of the last 3 questions, a teacher said. Has any one of you corrected Miss G's paper? She should have a score of 110 or more. Ji Qinggui took 118 last time, which shocked the entire math group. It hasn't been corrected yet, another teacher said. Her style of doing the questions is very obvious, and she will definitely be able to recognize it if she corrects it. Here, Professor Chen, the leader of the mathematics marking group, is correcting a paper. The paper is full, and the last 3 big questions are not left behind. Professor Chen was a little surprised, because these 3 big questions were written correctly. He happily gave a full score, and then clicked to calculate the total score of the paper. A score quickly popped up on the screen. Professor Chen paused, his eyes widened suddenly, and he stood up abruptly. The movement was so big that it overturned the chair. Old Chen, what's the matter? What paper? Surprised Mr. Chen. The other marking teachers surrounded him and saw the papers on his computer screen. I'll do the math, wait for me to do the math. Professor Chen's hands trembled, and he pressed the score calculation confirmation button again. After a few seconds, the score jumped out. For a moment, the entire office fell silent. The teachers are all staring at the final score. Mathematics, 150, full marks. Happy New January. I wish you all a happy Friday. At the beginning of the month, I will ask for a guaranteed monthly pass. Wow, it is still a double monthly pass. Don't miss it. Just a few votes into the first place, let's go. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 296. It has been 10 years since the joint entrance examination of the 7 schools, and there has never been a math paper with a perfect score. College students from the Department of Mathematics do not dare to say that they will get full marks. But now they have a perfect score here. Some teachers tremblingly moved their eyes to the answer sheet on the left side of the screen. The last 3 big questions were well answered, and it would be unreasonable not to give full marks. The difficulty of the math paper is progressive, and the finale questions can be answered correctly, and the previous ones will not be bad. What's more, the multiple choice questions are still computer-based, so it is even more impossible to make mistakes. Really full marks. I haven't seen you for more than half a year. Ms. Kingwei of the G family can already get full marks, a teacher said in shock. The G family didn't change her teacher. Isn't she improving too fast? No, this answer style is very bold. It's not G Kingwei's paper, and the words don't look like her. Professor Chen pushed up his glasses. Look at the formulas he used. The sword is eccentric, and even I didn't think of it. Use it well. Use it well. He sighed repeatedly, and the whole person was very excited. The teachers around him were even more shocked. That is to say, this time, a new god of learning has been born in the 7 school entrance exams. Miss Kingwei's paper has been corrected, a female teacher said at this moment. Look, this word must belong to her, be more delicate. She projected the paper on the screen. The total score is written on the right. 125. If it weren't for the full score paper in Professor Chen's hand, G Kingwei's score of 125 would have shocked the math group once again. But 125 points before 150 points is far from enough. Not to mention 125 points, even if it is 149 points, it is very different from 150 points. The name, test number, and other information are all sealed when changing the paper, and will not be unsealed until all subjects are approved and the system calculates the total score. Professor Chen let out a breath slowly, not knowing whether to cry or laugh. I thought I could sleep well tonight. Unexpectedly, this perfect score paper made him completely relieved of sleepiness, and it can be said that he was full of fighting spirit. Several teachers laughed at him. Old Chen, is it worth it for a math genius to keep you up all night? Tomorrow we must remind the comprehensive group and the English group to change the papers faster. I am very curious about who can get full marks in the test. It shouldn't be from the high school affiliated to Xia University. I know all the top 5 students in this year's high school affiliated to Xia University, and their scores are all around 110. Professor Chen nodded. We need to urge you to find out the person so that you can grab him in advance. If he is so strong in mathematics, he will not be far behind in science. He has to prepare in advance. Next door, the language group is also frantically revising papers. There are a total of 4 times in the 7 school joint examinations in one academic year. The Chinese papers are written by the professor of Chinese studies at Xia University and several old academicians of the Tiandemeng. The difficulty is naturally no small matter. But after all, the most important thing in Chinese is comprehension. As long as the direction is right, it is easier to get points than mathematics. This poetry appreciation is really difficult, and many students only got 1 or 2 points. Miss Kingwei is still amazing. The teacher who changed to G Kingwei's paper sighed. When Changji's poem was discovered not long ago, and several masters of Chinese studies studied it together. I didn't expect her insights to be so deep. Ji Qinggui's good handwriting is block letters, and the lines between the lines are quite like Lu Nanzan, a famous calligrapher during the Great Xia dynasty. It's instantly recognizable. Miss Qinggui is really good. She can get full marks for such a difficult reading comprehension. Another teacher came over, her score this time should be higher than last time. Although Ji Qinggui doesn't stay at home, all the teachers of Xia University know her. Ji's family said that next June at the latest, Ji Qinggui's body will definitely be able to recover. Xiata directly gave her a direct blog post, but she didn't hold out much hope. After all, Ji Qinggui still has to take the international joint examination, and if he gets a good rank in the international joint examination, he will be directly favored by international scientific research organizations. But Xiata still hoped that she could stay in the Great Xia Empire. It should be, maybe I can get 135. The teacher who corrected the paper nodded and clicked to turn the page. She was taken aback. Hey, why didn't you write a composition? In the first half of this year, Ji Qinggui also corrected the Chinese papers for the first time in the 7 school joint exams. It is the only one with full marks. It has been included in the Chinese Academy of Sciences of Xia University. The teacher who corrected the papers was still thinking about what shocking work Ji Qinggui would write this time. But the composition side turned out to be blank. She is weak and has a lot of Chinese questions, so she probably hasn't finished writing. Another teacher said, a few days ago, Ji's family sent several doctors to go there. Alas, what a pity, such a good girl is in such poor health. It should be. The correcting teacher nodded, but she almost got a perfect score in front of her, and she still has a higher score than other students. At the same moment, at the opposite desk, a male teacher was leaning on a chair, staring blankly at the screen. He changed to a composition, first attracted by the words. This word is very beautiful, with silver hook and iron painting, neat and beautiful. What is even more rare and valuable is that it is a school of its own and does not imitate any calligrapher. This is not the point is that this composition is written in classical Chinese, and all kinds of ancient words can be easily grasped, so it can't be seen that it is a show of skill. There are so few essays written in classical Chinese every year, but it is unavoidably blunt. This article seems to be written by the ancients, very smooth. The male teacher took a deep breath and gave 60 full marks. He knew that tonight, he would not be able to sleep. At this time, the Ji family. The servants are all running around for Ji Qinggui, and the chef is also preparing a nourishing meal. Ji Qingjio ignored everyone. She didn't have many things, so she simply tidied up a few times and opened the door to go out. It was Ji Longta who noticed him. You're leaving today, Ji Longta followed. Can't you stay for another 2 days? Your sister has been nagging you for so long, and you finally came back once, so you don't want to spend more time with her. Stay for another 2 days. Ji Qingjio was quite indifferent. Then she cried herself to death and couldn't take the entrance exams, and then she blamed me. Ji Qinggui is still 2 months away from turning 18, and they have never met each other. Ji Longta was furious. Your sister cares about you, but you speculate about her so maliciously. Get out. Get out. Ji Qingjio took the knife she bought and left without looking back. Ji Longta was still furious. Ji Qinggui was indoors and heard the movement outside. After drinking the medicine, she coughed twice. Mom, where's sister? Qinjunmen has something to do. She's gone. MRSG frowned. Leave her alone, take care of your body first, and you have a comprehensive exam tomorrow. Because Ji Qinggui was too weak, a teacher from the high school affiliated to Xia University specially came to Ji's house to invigilate the exam. It is also the only one. Ji Qing pursed her lips slightly. Mom, what if I don't pass the exam this time? When I took the Chinese exam in the morning, my heart hurt and I didn't have time to write the composition. Heartache? What's going on, MRSG became nervous all of a sudden. You didn't vomit blood, did you? Don't take the exam if your heart hurts. Mom knows your ability. It's no problem to take the international joint exam directly. I just want to give it a try. Ji Qing smiled slightly. Although my surname is Ji, I can't be special. Master Mingdeng said that you will be well before June next year. MRSG comforted her. By then you will be able to go out and play like your sister. Ji Qingwei drank another bowl of medicine before lying down. MRSG went out with the medicine bowl, and lowered her voice. I told you to leave her alone. She just doesn't want us to treat Qingwei well, but she doesn't want to think about how uncomfortable it is for Qingwei to live in pain every day. It would be great if Qingwei could be half as healthy as Qinjao. Ji Longta felt uncomfortable. She is so good, but she can't be like a normal person. Ji Qingwei's illness is quite weird. The doctor can't see the root cause, so he can only hang himself with medicine. Master Mingdeng is the abbot of Guanghua Temple. He is very famous in the circle of celebrities in Siju City, and MRSG believes it very much. He said that if Ji Qingwei can get better in the middle of next year, then he will definitely get better. I don't want to worry about her either. Ji Longta was very impatient. Since she likes being outside so much, let her fend for herself. Qingwei has an exam tomorrow, let her be quiet. MRSG said, don't mention her sister in front of her to make her worry. Ji Longta nodded. As expected, he didn't grow up by his side and wasn't familiar with him, so he won't give Ji Qinjao a single cent of his inheritance. The other side. Anken. How did you do in the exam today? Ye Zhenmian took 2 fruit plates. Yin, you didn't pass out, did you? No. Nian Yin was listless. I wanted to save money for Sister Qing Qing, so I tried my best not to pass out, but it's true that I want to vomit. He didn't understand. How could there be such a perverted question in this world? I fucking whetted his appetite and ate 3 steamed buns in a row. The doorbell rang at this moment, and Ye Zhenmian wiped her hands to open the door. The light in the corridor fell and hit the man's shoulder. His handsome face was half lit and half dark, confusing all living beings. Mr. Yu, Ye Zhenmian was taken aback. Mr. Yu, come in quickly, Qing Qing is eating, I'll call her. No need. Yu Zion smiled and raised her hand. I'll give something away, so I won't keep it, let her have a good rest. Before Ye Zhenmian could call him to stop, he had already left in a wheelchair. Nian Yin was confused. Sister Qing Qing, logically speaking, you should jump to meet him. I set a goal for myself, to ignore him for 3 days. I fucking bit the steamed stuffed bun. There are still a few hours, it's not time yet. Nian Yin. He found that his cousin suddenly became childish. So what's going on with you and Mr. Yu? Nian Yin was curious. Aren't you on good terms? I fucking narrated the matter briefly. Cheated to me several times, bullying others. Nian Yin took a deep breath. He is Jushin. His other idol is also so close to him. I fucking raised his eyelashes and glanced at him indifferently. You want to betray? Ah, Nian Yin realized, I didn't. Really? I fucking was unhurried. If I find out that you have betrayed, I will break your wings after they grow back. Nian Yin. This is a bit too scary. The next morning, Ye Zhenmian made meat floss, purple potato and taro rice balls, and installed 2 more for Nian Yi. I put fish in it. You bring it to Huan Huan, she loves fish, so leave early today. Nian Yin responded and went to school to give it to Lin Jiwan. Wow! You are so kind. At the same table Lin Jiwan took the rice ball and was moved to tears. Your mother's cooking is so delicious, no wonder the students in our school go to eat at your place after school. There are many schools near Bizhu No. 1 Middle School, including universities and primary schools. Ye Zhenmian's restaurant has been open for 3 months, and its reputation has already been established. There are a constant stream of people coming and going, and the daily sales are getting higher and higher. But Nian Yin has always kept a low profile. Except for Lin Jiwan, no one knows that his family has opened a restaurant. Today's comprehensive test, I think the ambulance will take away another group of people. Lin Jiwan finished eating the rice balls in twos and twos. Let's go in for the test. Nian Yian specially took medicine for stomach. I hope he doesn't vomit in the examination room. Sci-fi also entered the examination room fully armed. Her answering speed was fast and steady, and she handed in the paper in advance again. The students in the same examination room as her were no longer calm. Comprehensive questions are not as simple as mathematics, and even more difficult, especially physics. Some students once regretted choosing physics. Sure enough, the ambulance took away several batches of students. The English in the afternoon did not let the students breathe a sigh of relief. It was difficult from the beginning to the end, and the listening comprehension was not done by humans at all. The paper was sealed and sent to Xia University. The teachers in the comprehensive group and the English group wanted to rest. After all, there is no rush to correct the exam. Unexpectedly, teachers from the language group and math group ran over and frantically urged them to correct their papers. What do you know? You got a perfect score in math this time. Change quickly, I want to see who it is. Have a full score in mathematics? We also have it in Chinese, and I'm waiting to see the name. The teachers of the two groups looked at each other, adjusted the papers, and projected them on the big screen at the same time. The eyes of both sides froze and fell silent at the same time. The handwriting style of the two papers is exactly the same. A pervert, pay a monthly pass. Continue to ask the pervert for a monthly pass. That's right, His Majesty's memory has not been tampered with, because the game does bring Kinkin back to the past, which is what happened in his previous life, and the time is closed. I wrote a foreshadowing in chapter 10. Kinking's words reminded him of a person he met in his previous life, Ching Ching. I'm afraid you don't understand, let me mention it to put it simply, it's a two-way cultivation. Who knows the happiness of the cultivation system, who knows OVO. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 297. There was silence in the office. Several professors stared wide-eyed. What happened? It's fine that both math and Chinese scores in the joint exam of the 7 schools showed up, but why is it still the same person? Professor Chen was the first to react, with a stern face. Mathematics is even more difficult. Don't compete with me for this student. I can guarantee that if you train well, you will definitely have a seat in the International Mathematical Organization. What do you guys know about mathematics? Can students write essays in classical Chinese? Can it be justified without studying Chinese studies? Professor Su, who was born in Chinese studies, was filled with righteous indignation. The two sides are inseparable. The teachers in the comprehensive group and the English group listened hard. But under the strong request of the two professors, they had to go back to their desks and start correcting the papers. However, there are more than 100,000 students in the entire Great Xia Empire who have taken the joint exam for the 7 schools. Even if you start to change now, it depends on luck if you can get the student's paper. I said, Chen Laosu, you two old gentlemen, there is no need to be anxious. A physics professor pushed his glasses. This math and Chinese are full marks, comprehensive and English are definitely not full marks, things that people can learn is limited. This is not a lie. Professor Chen muttered angrily, that's not necessarily the case. Mathematics is so good, physics can't be low, then it's settled, and you don't rob people when the time comes. The physics professor waved his hand, don't rob, and definitely don't rob people with Mr. Chen. By the way, how did Miss Kingwei do in the exam this time? A teacher asked, shouldn't the score be low? Professor Chen said, it's not low, it's a high score, but it's not enough to read in front of the full score test paper. As expected, there is a saying, there are people outside of people, and there is heaven beyond the sky. Before the full marks came out, almost all the correcting teachers believed that Ji Qingwei was firmly in the number 1 position. Now it seems that this is the first to be replaced. Professor Chen sighed, "Oh, after correcting such a magic scroll, I can't change the rest. I'm going back to rest. Xiao Yang and Xiao Lu, you continue." The 2 people who were pointed out. But the professors also knew in their hearts that even if there were still high scores in the remaining papers, it was impossible to surpass the master of this divine paper. Before Professor Chen left, he thoughtfully ordered a cup of espresso for each of the other teachers who corrected the papers, so that they would have enough energy to correct the papers. After the 7 school entrance exams, it became a trending search the next day. Below is a group of crying students. Although they had already heard about the abnormality of the 7 school entrance examinations before they entered the 3rd year of high school, they only knew what torture was after they themselves took the examination room. "I almost passed out in the exam room. Why is there such a difficult thing in the world as physics? I heard that the physics finale question was adapted from this year's international entrance exam, so it's normal that it's difficult. I bet that absolutely no one can get 120 in math. Don't bet, someone can get to 120, maybe it's not from these 2 years, I don't know. There is a genius in the G family in Siju City, he is a real genius, high attainments. She has already taken the 7 school joint exam in the first half of the year, and she got 128 in mathematics, and the second place was 106. Look at the gap. Almighty. If you really say omnipotence, it still depends on my brother Yin. I will ask who can ascend the throne at the age of 14, not to mention eliminating princes in 2 years, who can also play piano, chess, calligraphy, painting, and write poetry. In front, whoever compared with Yin Huang has landed on the moon and touched porcelain, but if Yin Huang lives 2 more years and knocks down the western continent, I may not have to learn a lot of things, so I forced myself to smile. The wind direction was quickly drawn to Yin Huang. The top stream of 1,500 years, the topic degree is not generally high. The day before yesterday, someone released the news that Sci-fi had participated in the joint entrance examination of the 7 schools. Sang Yanqing had been watching the trend of public opinion on the internet for the past 2 days, and did not hold on to Jia or Hiza. And early this morning, Sci-fi had already returned to the set. Walking the Devil started filming the last part, and a group of new actors entered the stage. During the lunch break, Sang Yanqing came over. "Mr. Yu is here, can you see me?" Sci-fi glanced at the little notebook that held grudges, and stood up. "The time is up, see you." Sang Yanqing was a little confused. "What time?" "In the lounge." The man was leaning on the sofa, still wearing a meticulous suit. He seemed to be very tired, with a faint blue color under his eyes. Sci-fi had to admit that she really couldn't get angry with such a face. Even seeing him like this is a bit unbearable. Yu Xian's sleep was very light, and she reacted almost when she came in. He opened his eyes, looked back at her, and sighed, "Are you still angry?" "I won't be angry this time." Sci-fi took out the medicine for nourishing his mind and gave it to him. "If there is another time, I will resign immediately." "Are you staying up late at work again, and you are exhausted?" Yu Xian's eyes darkened for a moment, and he quickly recovered his calm. He took the medicine and smiled slightly. "Then I would like to thank you for your mercy. By the way," Sci-fi sat down and opened the insulated lunch box. "Boss, do you want to play esports? Originally, I wanted to invite Sneak Attack Monsters to play a game. Who knew it would be you?" Having known Yu Xian for so long, she knew that the rumors about Sijukan were indeed wrong. What is born crippled, what is useless? Not so. His personal ability is very strong, and his background is also very large. He even knows the head of the Mahist family, which is no match for the Yu family. She thinks that those in the celebrity circle in 49 City should wash their eyes. You can try. Uzion took a sip of tea, if you are really short of people. Si fucking paused, surprised. Boss, are you serious? Really? Uzion sighed softly, I didn't lie to you. I know, but you definitely don't need to take action in the early stage. Si fucking rubbed his chin, the opponent is too weak and not challenging. Let's wait and see in the finals. Well, it's up to you. Uzion raised her eyes, how did you do in the exam yesterday? How difficult is the question? It's okay. Si fucking stretched his waist, but you did a really good job on a physics problem yesterday, and me, it stumped me, so I thought about it for a while. She almost said the words, her demeanor. It was quite similar to one of the questions she gave Ji-yoon. That's good. Uzion supported her head and raised her eyebrows. I was still wondering if you would pass out from too much, and asked Feng San to prepare the medicine. Si fucking picked up the pillow and threw it over. Nonsense, you black-hearted sneak attack monster. How could I faint? Uzion grabbed the pillow with one hand, he was a little helpless, and said lightly, I'm getting more and more naughty, eat well. Hearing the last 4 words, Si fucking was thoughtful. Her boss reminded her that when she enters the game next time, she can cook for the young Yin Huang. The palace he lived in was too dilapidated, and the meals brought by the eunuchs and maids were cold. At the age of 9, he is still growing and needs to eat something good. Modern kitchen utensils are often fried, but in ancient times, a fire was built, so it wouldn't be fried, right? So happy to decide. After Uzion left, Si fucking continued filming. You really don't need to rest anymore. Tang Haikyu was suspicious. I read the news, there were more than a dozen students fainted in the examination room of Bizhu No. 1 middle school. Si fucking has been filming for the past 3 months, and I haven't seen her study much. No need. Si fucking held the sword, I'm in good shape now. Tang Haikyu nodded, okay. Not surprisingly, the filming of today's scene was successfully completed, and it is expected to be completed in 5 days. We can't catch up with this year's National Drama Festival Sangyanking side, there is still a process after the filming. I don't know how long the process will take. I hope your drama can be released during the winter vacation. During the Chinese New Year, the traffic is the largest, and there will be more people watching TV dramas. Although Si fucking's audition video has already convinced Xiangxia fans, some people are still worried about whether she can support the entire leading female lead drama. After all, the audition only takes a few minutes, and the disadvantages will be exposed after a long time. Si fucking nodded, I'm fine. After filming this show, we're going to record a new variety show, right? Yes, we must have passed the registration for this variety show. Sangyanking frowned, I hope there will be no problems. I also made an appointment for a movie for you. We will audition another day. Si fucking made an okay gesture. The phone rang at this moment, and she picked it up. Student Si, how did you do in the exam? The director of the admissions department was very concerned. You didn't feel any discomfort, did you? Tell me immediately if you feel any discomfort, and I'll arrange a psychologist to communicate with you. I tried my best. Si fucking lazily said, don't worry, I will definitely try my best to answer. Okay, the director of the admissions department smiled, then I'll wait for your good news. The teachers corrected the papers day and night, and finally finished all the papers within 3 days. It's been 10 years since the exams for the 7 schools, and it has never been changed so quickly once. After Professor Chen got the news, he rushed from home immediately, hurry up, open the grade system, and show me. Professor Su didn't back down, and stood aside eyeingly. The total score is projected onto the screen. The student's name and other information are also finally displayed. Professor Chen looked directly at the first line. Name, Si fucking. Student status, Bizhu No. 1 middle school. Chinese, 150. Math, 150. English, 150. Comprehensive, 300. Total score, 750. Rank, 1. There is also a single subject ranking behind the single subject. The one is all in one color, very neat. There was silence in the office. Professor Chen's hands trembled, he picked up his phone and rushed out quickly. Professor Su was stunned for a few seconds, and then ran out. Quickly, contact BSHU number 1 middle school. The physics professor patted the table, quickly contact. A teacher whispered, Professor, you just said a few days ago that you would never rob someone from Mr. Chen. Physics professor. Can he take back what he said? Who the hell knew he could even score full marks in physics? This was a specially adapted question after they got the International Federation exam paper. This student is simply a pervert. At this time, BSHU number 1 middle school. The principal was leisurely drinking tea in his office until he got a call. Principal Lu, I'm overjoyed. On the other end of the phone was Professor Chen, you have a good student from BSHU number 1 middle school. Upon hearing this, Principal Lu got up immediately. Who is Professor Chen referring to? Professor Chen is an honorary professor of Xia University, an old academician, and a member of the International Mathematical Organization. There are not many Daxia people who can achieve this achievement. What is even more rare is that he declined the invitation of the International Mathematical Organization and chose to stay at Xia University to teach. The courses he teaches are impossible to choose, and the aisles can be filled with people who rubbish the class. The principal is very aware of Professor Chen's status in the domestic mathematics circle. For him to say that, is it possible that some students from BSHU number 1 middle school took the second place in the 7-school joint exam? The science subjects of BSHU number 1 middle school were indeed weaker than that of Xia University High School. Sci-fi, you just accepted a student this year, right? Professor Chen was very distressed. I checked, she is still a star, and you actually let her become a star. It is a waste of money. It's been 10 years, and the 7-school joint entrance examination has given such a perfect score in all subjects. It's all subjects. Principal Lu, you have to persuade her to quit the circle no matter what. Not to mention, I'm already at the airport, and I can arrive this afternoon. Anken, wait. Before Principal Lu could react, the call had been hastily ended. Soon, SI's grades were also passed on to him. Looking at the first and full marks on the screen, with a click, Principal Lu cracked. Across the desk, the director of the admissions department was quite surprised. Principal, is this the phone number from Xia University? What did you say? Did any of our students get picked up? Who is it? Principal Lu's eyes were blank, and he turned the computer over. You can see for yourself. The director of admissions came over to take a look. On the front is SI's name, and on the back is her score. Too much data, but it can be summed up in one sentence. SI, with a score of 750, full marks in all subjects, ranked first in the joint examination of the 7 schools. The director of admissions stopped his hand. Let you try your best, you got a perfect score. Director of admissions, is this what you mean by doing your best? Good morning babies who have guaranteed monthly tickets at the beginning of the month. Give Ching Ching a wave, and we will continue to give Ching Ching a rush. One day in the future, T18 and Ling clashed again, and both sides inadvertently revealed their identities. Ching Ching, listen to me, you're done, smiley face. Ching Ching hasn't found out yet, every time His Majesty deliberately makes her feel bad. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 298. The director of the admissions department, a genuine liberal arts student, felt for the first time that he might have misunderstood the word hard work. No matter how you look at it, it has nothing to do with trying your best, right? Moreover, is this a humming score that can be tested by humans? Principal Lu couldn't calm down either, the hand holding the teacup kept shaking and he couldn't lift it up for a long time. A few seconds later, he took a deep breath, and managed to calm down and said, "Then what? Help me see if there is something wrong with my arm. Should I go to the neurologist to have a look at the nervous system?" The director of the admissions department finally came back to his senses. He wiped his sweat. "Principal, you are so excited." His legs were shaking uncontrollably. After a while, Principal Lu slapped the table and was very excited. "No wonder Professor Chen is so excited, she really got a perfect score in all subjects. She was able to get 750 points. In the past 7 school joint examinations, anyone with a score of 650 or above was an absolute genius and needed to be taken care of. But right now, a score of 750 was awarded. Principal Lu thought that the most wise decision he made in his life was to recruit Sci-fi to Bizhu No. 1 middle school. The director of the admissions department said tentatively, "Principal, is there a possibility that she got 750 in the test because the paper's full score is only 750? Principal Lu." His hands shook again, the teacup was finally overwhelmed, and fell to the ground with a slap and broke. "Not likely, for sure. Being able to get a full score in the test shows that the upper limit is still very high. The questions this time did not reach Sci-fi's upper limit." Principal Lu took a deep breath. "You have been studying the trend of the international joint examination in the past few years. Do you think SI will rank in the international joint examination next year?" "It's hard to say," the director of the admissions department frowned. "I think her physics is the best, because this time the questions are adapted from the international joint exam. She will definitely be able to enter the top 50, and the top 10, I'm afraid there is not much chance. All countries in the international joint examination are participating, bringing together all the talented young people in the world, and the competition is far greater than that in China. The top 50 is fine." Principal Lu rubbed his temples. "Tell her to keep her grades stable, and she can ask the school for any requirements. In this way, you leave my account and give her a school grade scholarship." The director of admissions scratched his head. It's rare for the old miser, the headmaster, to say such a thing. Principal Lu then checked the grades of other students in Bizhu No. 1 middle school. Because the 7-school joint exam is too difficult, in order to protect the students' self-confidence, the scores and rankings will not be published, they will only be sent to the students' educational administration system, and only the students themselves can see it. But Principal Lu has a complete ranking here. He pushed his glasses. Student Jiwan is still very stable. He got into 630 for the first time. It's very good, very good. Wait, is this year safe? He seemed to remember that Nian Yan was a school pro, but his grades were not as impressive as his face. But Nian Yan actually scored 558. "Oh," the director of the admissions department said in time, "Classmate Nian is the cousin of classmate Si, and during this time, classmate Lin has been giving him extra lessons, so his grades have improved." Principal Lu couldn't calm down again. He remembered that when Nian Yan was in his second year of high school, he couldn't get a score of 500 in the mock exam. How long has it been since he got 550 in the joint exam of the 7 schools? As expected of a family, Principal Lu nodded again and again, smiling. "It seems that my grades in Bizhu No. 1 middle school next year will be very good." The director of admissions is also very happy. In this way, he doesn't have to worry about next year's enrollment. He put Sci-fi's golden signboard here. The crew of Walking the Devil here. Come on, today you are going to wrap up." Tang Haikia patted the horn. "Don't put on a face, open and close your eyes. What kind of dignity do you make the junior wait for? It's a shame that you are still a movie star." In front of him was Mo Yishan, who looked loveless. Under the official Weibo of Walking the Devil, people ask every day when Sui Yan will kill the immortal, and he must be hacked into pieces. Tang Haikyu is also looking forward to this scene. He believes that with SI fucking leading the scene, he will be able to shoot unprecedented peak shots. Mo Yishin had no choice but to admit defeat first. Mr. SI, please be merciful. This can't be done, Mr. Mo, this is one of the few highlights in the whole play. Si Fu shook the sword in his hand. Mr. Mo, I believe in you, you are the best actor, and you will definitely perform well. Mo Yishin. It's better to kill him to add to the fun. After filming this scene, Mo Yishin's costume was soaked through. He sat on the chair, his body was still shaking and sweating profusely. Is it that exaggerated? Tang Haikyu lightly made up the knife. The acting was very good just now, I enjoyed watching it very much, and the audience will definitely enjoy it even more. Walking the Devil is a major heroine drama. No matter how hard the pressure is in the early stage, the counterattack will be as fierce as it is later. After Mo Yishin finally appeared in the play, he jokingly said, if anyone really messed with Mr. Si, this person must be very miserable. He is the king of movie stars, his acting skills can't be said to be superb, but he is also very good at it. So he could clearly feel that the killing intent released by Si fucking earlier was real. Fortunately, this is filming, otherwise he was afraid that he would be hacked to pieces by Si fucking. Teacher Wu from Tiandameng told me that she has practiced martial arts and she is really good at acting. Tang Haikyu was very satisfied. This time the crew saved a lot of money. The progress was fast, and the martial arts instructor was saved, all thanks to Si fucking. In the dressing room, Si fucking was also resting, and Sang Yanking answered the phone. Hi, hello, yes, I am. What you mean is that the results of the joint exam for the 7 schools have come out. Why is it so fast this time? Sang Yanking has been in the entertainment industry for many years, but she is unavoidably cautious when facing Xia University's teachers. How did she do in the exam? Tell me, don't be afraid to scare me. At most, it's the first one, she's used to it. Student SI scored 750 points in the exam, full marks in all subjects. Professor Chen said quickly, I have never seen it in my life. Sang Yanking felt his scalp explode, and his whole body went numb. What? She has graduated for many years, and there was no 7-school joint exam when she was in high school, but she knew how difficult the 7-school joint exam was after listening too much. Last year, a little flower took part in the joint entrance examination of 7 schools, and even set up a figure on the internet as a top student. Of course, in the end, Xiahua was only in her early 500 in the college entrance examination. What does a score of 750 mean? After the call ended, Sang Yanking stared blankly at Si fucking. I also think it's a wrong decision for you to become a celebrity. The professor who called her just now said that Si fucking can directly enter Xia University without other exams. Si fucking glanced at her. I don't think so, I'm very happy in the entertainment circle to eradicate evil. There is still money to take. Didn't you drop out of school in the 3rd year of junior high? Sang Yanking was puzzled. When did you learn it? You can forget it, why are you so fierce? Si fucking raised his eyebrows. I learned it in the game. Sang Yanking, you're joking again. Moon size. Outside the Free State, no one believed the truth. Her disguise technique was learned from a high-level NPC in Eternity. Although she hasn't set up the account of the little junior sister yet, but the junior sister is so powerful at such a young age, she thinks she has learned a lot in the game. I really didn't realize that you are so good at studying. Sang Yanking asked, have you decided which school to apply for next year? The art test will be in March next year, and the registration is now open. Do you want to participate? No arts exam, Si fucking lazily said, should go to Xia University. Sang Yan said quietly, I thought you would scare a lot of examiners to death if you took the art test. I didn't expect that you would scare people to death if you took the normal test. I really don't know what else you don't know. Let SI fucking take the art test, isn't that a blow to dimensionality reduction? As a result, changing the field is still a dimensionality reduction attack. People still need to have their own cards. SI fucking paused and smiled. If they all come out, it's stupid. She never shows all her strength on the bright side. Sang Yanking only felt goosebumps. It's okay, I don't believe there is anything I can't accept after this. SI fucking really wanted to ask if one day Sang Yanking found out that their family was all evolutionaries, and her cousin might even grow wings, would that be acceptable? After thinking about it, she decided not to break her manager's heart. Then pack it up. Sang Yanking breathed a sigh of relief. You have done a good job. Those professors have already come to you by plane, and they haven't even booked a hotel. Let's see if you are rushing them. What happened this time? Confiscated. SI fucking. She raised her hand. Can I apply to slip away? No. Sang Yanking ruthlessly pushed her down on the chair. Also, although you won't be able to make it to this year's National Drama Festival, I have received an invitation, so you still have to go. There are still a few stations that invite you to the New Year's Eve party. I think they are all pretty good. You can choose one yourself when the time comes, and another call comes. Take a look at what you have done. Wait a minute. SI fucking said, you book a hotel for the professors, it's already 6 o'clock, and you can also order takeaway. Sang Yanking nodded and went out to answer the phone. SI fucking sat in front of the makeup mirror expressionlessly, his fists hardened. Junior sister, take it easy. Ji-un pinched her face. Brothers and sisters used to take care of you, but this time no one will cover you. I know it in my heart. SI fucking squinted his eyes. This time it was on purpose. Sure enough, after the entrance exams for the 7 schools were over, she obviously felt that she was recovering a lot faster. Maybe she has found a way to collect luck faster. In addition to expanding her popularity, she also has to compete with Ji Kingwei on the same stage. SI fucking pinched his shoulders. It's really troublesome. Outside the dressing room, Sang Yanking answered the phone softly. From the shock at the beginning, it has tended to be numb. After answering the last call, Professor Chen, who was the first to call, also rushed to the set without stopping. Sang Yanking immediately went up to greet her. Hello, Professor Chen, we just finished filming and we are still taking off our makeup. Please wait here for a while. I'm really sorry. It's okay. Professor Chen waved his hands again and again. I can wait, let her rest for a while. Mr. Chen, you came here in a hurry, and it's so late today, and there's no place to stay. Sang Yanking said, we have booked hotels for you and other professors. Professor Chen was stunned. Okay, you are caring, very caring, thank her for me. He was originally afraid that SI fucking would acquire some bad habits in the materialistic entertainment industry. It is true that there are still hard-working stars, but the general environment is so impetuous. The academic circle is not going anywhere, and he can only do his best to guarantee it. Professor Chen made up his mind that today he must try his best to persuade SI Fu to quit the circle. Sang Yanking asked his assistant to prepare tea and snacks for Professor Chen. Professor Chen ate a piece of dim sum and thought it tasted good, so he ate another piece. The other professors followed closely behind him. Mr. Chen, the speed is really fast. Professor Su said in a strange way, you can't justify your speed if you don't participate in the faculty sports meeting. Professor Chen snorted coldly, you are not slow to move, the premise is already agreed, you must not use dirty tricks, each depends on his own ability. Here, Tang Haiqiu and Mo Yishan walked side by side. As soon as I walked over, I saw a bunch of people lined up at the rest area, and the number was already in double digits. Tang Haiqiu was quite surprised. Ms. Sang, what do these people do? It doesn't look simple. Mo Yishan also stopped and looked over. They were all elderly people, men and women, and those with blushing faces and thick necks, as if they were about to fight. It couldn't be that Mr. Si had some kind of grudge, Was someone looking for it? Sang Yanking gradually came back to her senses, and she said, "They are all professors from Xia University. They said they came to see Ching Ching for something important. It should be because of her perfect score in the 7-school joint exam, but there are too many people, and they are queuing up." Woolen cloth. She didn't dare to tell the muses that another group of people came to beg their idol to quit the circle. Muses. Can you be an individual? A lot of babies asked when to come to the sports competition. The previous chapters introduced it a bit, and it was almost here, so there were brothers and sisters who were about to haunt. Thank you for your support, see you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 299. The mooses will go crazy. Sang Yanking sighed. It is not easy to be a fan of Sci-fi. Fans of other stars are all afraid that someday the house will collapse and fall on them. The muses should always be vigilant about whether Sci-fi will quit the circle. It's pretty quiet around. Sang Yanking's words contained too much information, and Tang Haiqiu was instantly numb. Mo Yishan's expression froze, and he quickly caught the most crucial words: "Professor Xia, full marks in the 7-school joint test, queue up." What magical reality is this? Can these words appear in the same sentence? Who does not know the difficulty of the 7-school joint entrance examination? Mo Yishan really remembered that he read Weibo and said that someone was in the same exam room as Sci-fi. She handed in the papers in advance for each exam. Some people said that she couldn't write at all. If you write it for nothing, you might as well go out early. Many people joined in. After all, the 7-school joint entrance examination is too perverted, and Sci-fi used to have the bad reputation of dropping out. Mo Yishan also planned to comfort her today, but he was so frightened that he forgot after a scene. Who knows, Sci-fi doesn't need to be comforted at all. Rather, his heart needs to be taken care of. Mo Yishan spoke with difficulty, so, she submitted the papers ahead of time because she was done. Sang Yanking was very calm. Ching Ching said that there was a physics problem that was a little challenging, and it stumped her for a while. Mo Yishan. What does it mean to be stuck for a while? Listen, is this what people say? He knew all the words, how could he not understand them together? Just when Tang Haiqiu and Mo Yishan were turned into stone sculptures, Sci-fi also finished removing his makeup and put on his regular clothes. As soon as she came out, she was shocked by more than a dozen professors from Xia University. Are there too many people? After seeing her, Professor Chen got up immediately. "Student Si, hello, I'm Chen Zhengming from the Mathematics Department of Xia University." Chen Lao, hello. Si shook hands with him. "You have to go to the crew after all your hard work." It's not hard, Professor Chen waved his hands again and again. "You have a perfect score in the 7-school joint test. Even if you let me run to the side to find you now, did you ever think that you would get such a high score when you answered the question?" Well, Sci-fi's brows and eyes were calm. "I can't guarantee that except for the composition, the others must be full marks." Now it was the professors' turn to look at each other. "Okay," Professor Chen was even more excited. "Student Si, you can just drop out of the circle and go to Xia University. Next year, we will make up for the international entrance exam, and you will definitely be in the top 10. The Great Xia Empire has not had any students who have entered the top 10 in the international entrance examination for many years. On the contrary, there was a top 3 last year, but it didn't show up in the end, and it's still uncertain whether it's Daxia's." Other professors also spoke up and persuaded her to quit the circle. "Student Si, think about it slowly, we are not in a hurry." Professor Chen was very kind, "but I'll be honest, if you don't come to study mathematics, our mathematics department will lose a talent. What's the matter? Isn't the loss of Chinese learning talents? Professor Su stared. You have enough math talents, how long did it take me to wait for such a person? The physics professor coughed twice and raised his hand. Well, I have something to say too. Professor Chen and Professor Su were furious at the same time. Shut up. You agreed not to rob people. Physics professor. How did he know that SI fucking could also get full marks in physics? Doesn't this make sense? SI fucking did not show any impatience, and listened quietly. An hour later, the professors finished arguing and turned around at the same time. Student SI, which college do you choose? SI fucking. It was as if she was dreaming back to when she entered the Eternal Academy. That's right, professors, I really have no plans to quit the circle. I will take the college entrance examination, and I will also go to Xia University. SI fucking smiled. I can also assure you that no matter where I go to study in the future, will eventually return to Daxia. This is her route. I'm relieved that you can say that. Professor Chen breathed a sigh of relief and was very relieved. Then when you enter next year, we will talk about the specific department allocation. Professor Su pushed his glasses. Student SI, Xiata, you can join next year, and TND Alliance can join now. I am in the Department of Chinese Studies, and the Alliance and student status do not conflict. Aside, Sang Yanqing fell silent. She hasn't said that the martial arts department also wants to pull people. I'll consider it. SI fucking nodded. I'm quite busy filming, so I still have to do what I can. Sang Yanqing. Do it well. She has already understood the idiom PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Yes, yes, you must do what you can. Professor Su smiled. Student SI is so dedicated. I will definitely watch your TV series, not only for me, but also for my doctoral students. Not to be outdone, Professor Chen said, when I didn't bring doctoral students and graduate students. I still have several big classes, with 300 students in a class. More than students, who is afraid of whom? Both professors left angrily. After the humble physics professor gave Sang Yanqing a business card, he went to the hotel that SI fucking booked for them. There was still a debate on the road, and the topic only revolved around SI fucking alone. This is a treatment that Ji Qinggui did not have before. This time, because Ji Qinggui did not write an essay, the total score was 640, which was also a very high score, ranking second. But because of SI fucking's perfect pervert, the professors of Xia University all forgot her. At this time, Ji's family in 49 towns, and MRSG also got Ji Qinggui's score in this joint entrance examination. Qinggui, you're really amazing. MRSG was very happy. You didn't write your Chinese composition, but you can still rank second. If you did, you could get a few points from the first. As soon as Ji Qinggui made a move, the composition must be full marks. So she should be able to score 700 this time. With a score of 700 in the 7-school joint test, only Ji Qinggui could pass the test. Others are nowhere near as good. MRSG had no intention of blaming Ji Qinggui at all, but rather distressed. Qinggui, please bear with it, a Yao is still helping you find a ghost doctor, you will be able to recover. Ji Qing pursed her lips and smiled, thank you mom. Be sure to take a good rest. MRSG was worried. You vomited blood again this morning. The doctor said that you vomited blood from your heart, and it was very hurtful. Ji Qing paled slightly. Mum and Dad are worried. But there were things she didn't say. In the past 2 days, she always felt that something that belonged to her was gradually being stripped away, which made her a little flustered. However, except for the composition that she didn't write due to her health, the other subjects were better than the last time she took the test. Ji Qinggui didn't take it too seriously. When you get better, Mom will take you to the international games. MRSG stroked her hair lovingly. you will be able to exercise freely by then. Ji Qing coughed a few times. Is my sister still mad at me? She's mad at you. Why is she mad at you? MRSG's expression sank instantly. Don't care about her anymore, she doesn't appreciate it. Ji Qinggui's eyelashes drooped, a little disappointed. Have a good rest. MRSG stood up. Wait for Ayao to come over, you two have a good chat. She went out of the bedroom and closed the door. Strange, Qinggui did so well in the exam this time, why is there nothing at Seata? Ji Longta frowned on the sofa. A few professors came to visit Qinggui last time. Maybe I'm busy with something, MRSG said. Besides, we won't go to Xia University when we are in the middle of nowhere. It's okay if we don't come. The top 50 in the international entrance examination will be recruited by Free State. Seata is far from enough to see. Yes, Ji Longta's frowning brows stretched out. I'll go buy some electronic parts and use them for Qinggui. On the other side, the Li Group. The secretary is reporting to Li Yanqin the situation in the 49 cities. The Ji family has found another batch of doctors today. It seems that Miss Ger has become seriously ill these days. It is not optimistic, the secretary said. The Ji family has not given up and is still looking for a better doctor. After the Lin family took that order from us, the profit has doubled several times. Hearing this, Li Yanqin's expression finally changed. Where's the Yu family? The Yu family is still the same. The old man Yu is in good health, the old lady Yu's spirit is declining, and the Yu family has invited the eminent monks from Guanghua Temple to teach the scriptures. The secretary continued. Yu Ji was not in the fourth quarter during this time. 9 towns, unable to trace his specific trace. Li Yanqin nodded slightly. The Li family was originally a few grades behind the Yu family, not to mention that the Yu family had a good relationship with the top officials of the Qinjun League, and the old house of the Yu family was guarded by the Qinjun League. Although Yu Zion could not be spoiled by old man Yu and old Madam Yu, there would definitely be no shortage of guards around him. Mr. Li, there is one more thing. The secretary thought for a while, and then said, Miss Bai wants to participate in a job-seeking variety show in Daxiatai called The Birth of a Staff, but the quota is full, and I want you to help. Let's talk about it. What she wants to go to is the medical team. All right, Li Yan pressed his eyebrows. I've been busy these days and haven't been with her. If she wants to participate, let her participate and say hello to Daxiatai. The secretary responded and went down. In the morning of the next day, the heroine of the fairy tale heroine Dragon Crossing was officially completed. The official Weibo posted a photo of the finale, and the crew is also preparing for the finale banquet. The post-production team has already started editing the feature film. Unsurprisingly, Dragon Crossing can be starred on the Daxia stage during the winter vacation, which is still a golden time. One can imagine how high the ratings will be. Tang Haiqiu was directing the editing in the later stage, and director Qin called at this time. Old Tang, I'm so sorry, I may not be able to get the prime time in January. Old Qin, what's the matter? Tang Haiqiu frowned. It's said that you want to fight for the gold with me, but you told me yesterday that you have won it. Why do you say it's gone now? Old Tang, I didn't know such a thing would happen. Director Qin took a deep breath, because yesterday the review did tell me that the 8 o'clock time slot was vacant, but today teacher Tang's team is here, this time slot. I gave it out. Tang Haiqiu was taken aback. Tong Luyun. Yes, it's her. Director Qin said helplessly. She also has a drama not long after the filming. It's an ancient drama of conspiracy. You know Lao Tang, the censorship in the stage loves this one, and the golden prize is given directly. After she moved to the film industry, she hasn't made a drama for 3 or 4 years, and this drama is also very valued. There was another sentence, which director Qin did not repeat. Tong Luyun, who is the first of the 4 major actresses, became famous early. 10 years ago, she was the queen of ratings. She won many mainstream awards and was invited by Daxiatai many times to participate in the Spring Festival Gala. Sci-Fucking is a rookie actress, and she is still going the way of a traffic star. This is her first drama, and she doesn't even have a fan of the drama. Compared with the two, whose ratings are more guaranteed, there is no need to consider at all. Tang Haiqiu fell silent. He couldn't refute director Chin's remarks. The script of Xiangxia was difficult to review, and it was not easy for Dragon Crossing to pass the trial without cutting out the scenes. Old Tang, otherwise, you will be released in April, and there should be no one in the prime time of this period, Director Chin said. It is definitely not as large as the traffic during the winter vacation. Okay, Tang Haiqiu sighed, I'll go talk to Fucking and see what she means. After the call, he went to Sci-Fucking. Sci-Fucking just finished removing his makeup. Director Tang. Fucking, there is something wrong with Shang-Xin, Tang Haiqiu said. The schedule for the winter vacation is gone, and now I can only change the schedule. What do you think? Sci-Fucking nodded. Is the golden window for winter vacation gone? It was a good talk, but unfortunately there is your senior's drama about to appear. Its teacher Tong Luyuan. Tang Haiqiu shook his head. It's really not good. We'll show it in April, just to make you wait a little longer. But April is a bad time, so should we change a station? It's okay. Sci-Fucking pondered. A few seconds later, she raised her head and smiled. Director Tang, are you interested in simultaneous screenings at home and abroad? Good morning. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 300. Tang Haiqiu suspected that he had heard it wrong, and paused before saying, what did you say? Even many domestic movies cannot be released at the same time at home and abroad, and there is no such possibility for TV dramas. Overseas schedules are more difficult to obtain than domestic ones, so they are all postponed. Those that can be postponed will also be seen by international producers. Tang Haiqiu's last drama Sword Immortal was so popular back then, it exploded the ratings of the Great Xia Empire, and it is still a classic for 10 years, and there is no foreign producer to buy the foreign broadcast rights of this drama. This needs to be negotiated with people. In China, he can ask for a schedule at any other station, but Daxia station still needs to ask Qin for help. Not to mention abroad. Compared with other dramas, Xiangxia dramas are quite niche. Tang Haiqiu never thought in his life that his dramas could be moved to international screens. I'm serious, Sci-Fucking said lightly. I know a person, I worked for him and he didn't pay me a salary. He said that when I finished filming, I would find him, and he would arrange a schedule for me abroad. Tang Haiqiu's hands trembled and his eyes sharpened. So what do you mean? Didn't I ask Director Tang if you want the right to broadcast abroad? Sci-Fucking smiled. We're looking for other channels in China, so there's no need to stick to the big summer channel. I remember that the Xinguang channel asked you, and it was also the winter vacation for you. Golden Gear. Starlight Station has an idol theater column that broadcasts dramas every night at 8 on demand. But if we are also on the winter vacation, you will be on the same stage as Tong Luyuan's dynastic dynasty. Tang Haiqiu frowned. It's not good for you. The entertainment industry is a place for comparison every day. Of course, Sci-Fucking's current achievements and status in the entertainment industry cannot be compared with Tong Luyuan, the leader of the 4 great actresses. Tong Luyuan is also not comparable to Gu Hainan's good actress. She won the award with a soft hand, and she has already moved to the world in an all-round way. There was no comparison between the two. The bad thing is that Tong Luyuan was also brought out by Sang Yanking. Her achievements are too high, and the marketing account and the media will pull her out to compare with Sci-Fucking. Tang Haiqiu estimated that Tong Luyuan's team suddenly chose to broadcast this drama. First, it was indeed because the prime time during the winter vacation was very good. Second, it was probably because they were tired of being compared and had to prove their status. It is conceivable that if the ratings of Dragon Crossing are not as high as that of Dezhou Dynasty, SI fucking will definitely be trampled badly. For the sake of SI fucking, Tang Haiqiu would rather postpone the release. SI fucking folded his arms and raised his eyebrows. Did director Tang have no confidence in himself, or does he have no confidence in me? Tang Haiqiu was suddenly aroused by his competitive spirit, and he slapped the table. Okay, I'll contact Xing Guang Taiwan. Originally, I didn't like to invest too much in publicity. We must build enough momentum for this show. He wants everyone to know that Xiangxia will never die. Tang Haiqiu strode out. Who are you working for again? Sang Yanking wondered. Isn't Mr. Yu enough? It's different. SI fucking shook his phone. The teacher and the boss are still different. SHH, Sister Sang, I'll make a call. In order to take care of his heart, Sang Yanking went out with kindness and closed the door. As usual, SI fucking and Gu Wenzu had a video call. Since she drew the design drawings, the old man has been very leisurely. Why is it so early today? Gu Wenzu put on his glasses. Is your drama finished? I'm about to tell the teacher about my drama. SI fucking said. The filming has been completed. I need the broadcast schedule of the international channel. The best one in late January. You're talking about IFTV, right? Gu Wenzu pondered. The director of their station and Ling Yun are friends, and I owe him a favor. I will let him contact you directly. SI fucking nodded, and the fox's eyes narrowed. Teacher, if you help me like this, has he not doubted me yet? No. Gu Wenzu's expression became disgusting. I don't count on him anymore. What's the use of him? Chu Lingyun really had no doubts about SI fucking's identity. Gu Wenzu is the godfather of fashion. Like him, he has a strong appreciation for any beautiful things and people. SI fucking's face is really nothing to say. Nuwa's dazzling product, she is a genius. Chu Lingyun had a little doubt about how Gu Wenzu and SI fucking knew each other, but after being put off by Gu Wenzu, he stopped paying attention. Soon SI fucking received a call from Chu Lingyun. It's a fairy tale drama directed by Tang Haiqiu. SI fucking sent the information. The timeline is 1,000 years after Jianxian. This is a pilot film. After Chu Lingyun watched it, he took a deep breath. Your acting skills, no, your first movie must be filmed by me, and I will definitely finish the book as soon as possible. He thought about it for a while, and then said, but the Xiangxia drama IFTV has never been aired, but there have been a few urban dramas, but action sci-fi movies have always been very popular, and Xiangxia dramas are not far behind. Teacher Tang Haiqiu's dramas are very popular. It's guaranteed. I'll help you with this, and I'll contact you when it's confirmed. It's hard work. SI fucking said lazily. I'll invite you to dinner when we meet. At the same time, Tang Haiqiu also asked the propaganda staff to post the pilot film of Dragon Crossing on Weibo. The crew's funds were spent on special effects. As soon as the title came out, it instantly killed the romance dramas dressed in Xiangxia in recent years. Fans and mooses are happy. Wait for the release. Director Tang is fast. I thought I would have to wait until the summer vacation next year, but I didn't expect that I could watch it during the winter vacation. Brothers and sisters, it's baby Kinking's birthday soon. Are you all ready? I originally wanted to rent an advertising screen, but Sister Sang said that I can't waste it, let alone raise funds, so I just wanted to make some handicrafts. Do you have any good suggestions? Crossing the Devil is finished. I heard that it will be released in the prime time of Daxiatai. Brothers and sisters, rush rush. Kinking's first drama is on the star. Doesn't this kill other people in seconds? Being a career fan of SI fucking is really cool. No need to spend any money. The entry hashtag #Saifuqing, Demo hashtag quickly climbed up the hot search on the entertainment list. SI fucking's hot searched physique is envied by other stars. Tong Lu Yun's team also saw it. The current traffic stars are very good at sticking to fans. The agent lit a cigarette. I have seen through their routines, and they released news that they would be released in the prime time of Daxiatai, and finally found out that they are not. At some point, I'd probably say you robbed her, but I didn't expect Sang Yanking to do the same. Tong Lu Yun said lightly, I didn't have such good resources back then. She has been running for so long, and the first drama after meeting Sang Yanking was a female third. The character of this female third is very unpleasant, and it is also because she played it. After the drama became a big hit, she began to take over the first female. But Sci-Fi's first drama was a big production by Tang Haikyu's team, which even compared Gu's Hainan. No one's mind will be balanced. Good resources don't mean it will be a big hit, the agent laughed. The times create heroes, and heroes create the times. The internet is developed now, but where is the second you? Thinking of Tong Lu Yun's status, she has to fight for 7 or 8 years in the entertainment industry. Sci-Fi still has a long way to go. The agent sincerely hoped that she had better not put her thoughts on Tong Lu Yun, and she would only fall badly if she stepped on the old senior. The next day, Sci-Fi was still on the set, and she was waiting for news from Chu Lingyun. Sang Yanking gestured to her, it's the phone number of the birth of a staff program team. A staff birth is expected to start filming in January and be released in April. This is also the first workplace observation program in the Daxia Empire, and it has high expectations. Hello, Sang Yanking picked up, hello, yes, you say. That's right, Ms. Sang, because there are too many people who signed up for the art group, but no one in the medical group. The program planner was on the other end of the phone. We thought about moving teacher SI to the medical group, and the salary was mentioned to her. 20 million, what do you think? The original plan was not to change the team for Sci-Fi. But yesterday, Bai Jingxi personally went to Daxiatai with the investment of the Li family, saying that he hoped to get to know Sci-Fi, and the two were in the medical team. Sci-Fi will definitely stay. Her title of Queen of Variety Shows is not for nothing, and the show also needs a streaming star to increase its popularity. The variety show The Birth of a Staff shows no more scientific knowledge than 66 Days to Survive. The painting that Sci-Fi signed up for is good, but there are many stars in the circle who have studied painting and classical dance, so it seems a little unattractive. There is indeed a shortage of people in the medical team. Even if the program team repeatedly emphasized that there will be special people to teach people without medical foundation, there are still few stars who dare to apply. In case of overturning, there is no place to cry. The Li family would make additional investment, so the planner happily agreed. The entertainment industry is still incomparable with the celebrity circle where the century-old giants such as Sijukan are located. We have already signed the contract, and it was confirmed the day before yesterday that it is the art group. Sang Yanking's voice became cold. Why do you want to move to the medical group again? If you don't move others, you will be bullied by us. After she finished speaking, she hung up the phone and sneered, the program team has gone back on its word, we still don't report it, we are used to them. There are a lot of directors under Daxiatai. Not all directors are like Director Chin. Not only will they introduce Sci-Fi to such a good resource as During the Demon, but they also think about the artist in everything. No, Sci-Fi only heard the numbers, and he straightened up immediately. His salary has doubled for me several times, and it's already 20 million yuan, so I won't suffer if he doesn't report it. Sang Yanking hesitated, but medicine. Sister Sang, don't worry. Sci-Fi looked lazy, I'm fine, this is definitely my job. Sang Yanking, excuse me, I should be worried about other people's hearts. Sci-Fi's expression was serious, I'll go back and make Sasi brand Suxiaojuxin pills. I'll keep it ready at any time to keep my body healthy and refreshed. But you still put it away, the tree is big to attract the wind. Sang Yanking's eyes became colder, there are a lot of people who are doing small tricks recently. The golden schedule was crossed, and the new variety show was assigned to the most difficult medical group. Obviously, many people in the entertainment industry have started to stare at SI fucking and want to pull her off. The place where interests compete will never be peaceful. SI fucking snorted, I know what I know, this time I really do what I can. Sang Yanking's head hurt again, do you see my letter? SI fucking held his head, Sister Sang, I meet your former artist, you wouldn't mind, would you? Sang Yanking just smiled lightly, what are you talking about, didn't I bring you an artist? They are all smart people, and they can understand in 2 sentences. The phone dropped at this point. Chu Lingyun, it's successful. I'm in Bazhu. I'll come to your crew right away to meet and chat. SI fucking immediately went to find Tang Haikiu. Tang Haikiu also just finished discussing the schedule with the director of Xinguang Station. Director Tang, I've got a big one. SI fucking took it easy. The schedule has been negotiated. On January 20th, RF will be shown globally simultaneously, just at this time the international games is over. Tang Haikiu's hands trembled, the thermos cup almost fell off, and his scalp almost exploded, if global release simultaneously. What kind of international director can this be negotiated? He originally thought that SI fucking was talking about a small foreign TV station, so he could talk about it directly. Tang Haikiu suddenly recalled that he's a specialist on Weibo last month, just talked about introducing resources to Yuan Heping, and as a result, Calvin and Xiaozo, 2 ceiling characters of action science fiction films, came out. He took a deep breath, Calvin and Mr. Xiaozo were actually found by you, right? No emails. SI fucking raised his eyebrows, smart, Director Tang. Tang Haikiu slumped on the chair. He wished he wasn't so smart. He'll be here soon. SI fucking glanced at the time, the contract can be signed today. Tang Haikiu immediately sat upright. He wanted to know which international director was above Xiaozo and Calvin. 15 minutes later, the door was knocked and opened. A heavily armed man came in. The people who follow Kinking's side are not very good. It's alright, we'll be fine after exercising OVO. See you tomorrow.